Do that again. Ha ha! I was muted. Just testing. Okay. So welcome to the Nielsen Ratings, my Tuesday night chat show. I'm still not 100%, but nothing will stop me from being here. Yeah, a bit of a strange day. Quite a lot to do, and it's one of those days where you feel like you do a lot but achieve nothing. So it's a bit of an odd one. Mark Kelly is in the chat. Hello, Lance. What a day at the select committee where Fujitsu, CEO of Europe, gave his resignation speech. I missed that. Wow, that would be interesting. I might have to show that during the stream. Yeah, Mark, if you want to tweet me the link for that speech, if you've got it, that would be interesting to see. Anyway, first in the to arrive in the green room. Oh, about 45 minutes ago, it was Blue Collar Loser.
Yeah, to be fair, I was shoveling snow, so.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. You were not the first to arrive. How you doing?
I should just window real quick. We it's 6 inches, not too bad for us now, but it's coming down. So.
Oh, you're talking about the snow.
Yeah.
Wonder where you were going with that for a moment.
Yeah, I'm jealous of Mother Nature.
Is there a window where we can see it all floating about? Or
I'm in the basement, so I'll take a picture later.
Okay. So Tomby's in the chat. Hello, good to see you, mate. Next, but by every means least, it's Northern English Bastard.
Evening all.
I feel like the music to the opening track to Reservoir Dogs should play when you come in.
I forgot, Lance, you can join StreamYard on your phone, right?
Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah. Do you want to try it?
You know, why not?
Show us the snow. Okay. Blue, you've muted yourself, but he's popping out. He's popping out. He's gonna try and see what he can do there. How are you, sir?
I am fine. I'll just been a bit of a busy day. I had a little day out with the wife. And well, managed to finish my Society of the Snow review. I just need to start editing it. And I've already written my Last Starfighter review now.
Good film, that. Oh, I'm doing Last Starfighter this
yeah. So
this Saturday. What timing?
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock as well. So yeah, I'll join it. I'll join.
Great. I should hope so. Oh, hang on. Enzo's messaging me. To say sorry, making coffee will be about 7 minutes. So it's good to know that it takes Enzo 7 minutes to make a cup of chow. Yeah, so Society of the Snow. Yeah, I mean, I think for the people that were there, it's probably the superior film, because I know a lot of people hated the Hollywood version of the story, but I still like the film Alive. It's got, more of a traditional score, and it's still got a lot about it that I really like. But I think overall, Society of the Snow is the better film.
Yeah, it does. Alive kind of brush over the cannibalism a tiny bit.
Yeah, well, Alive handled that very sort of quickly, and then it wasn't really talked about again. So it was a little bit different. Oh, okay. So our man out in the snow.
Yeah, sorry, I realized you have to download Chrome onto your phone. So yeah, there's my kid shoveling. Shovel boy, work. Yeah, since it's that's new. Yeah.
Holy shit! Someone's got major dandruff. What's happening?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm back on my computer now.
That looks lovely. That actually.
Ooh. It did look quite. Is it snowing where you are?
We almost had a little bit coming down, but so far just stopped after that.
If you're
it's just cold.
Keith is asking, what do they explain the name of the movie is and why? If you're talking about the Society of the Snow, two things come to mind. I think one was They had to eat the snow to survive because it was water, obviously. And the second thing was, I think that was what they called themselves, the people that survived. But I might be wrong about that. But anyway, so I'm going to talk about One More Shot, which is a film I've watched recently. Is it cold up there? Must be. Where you are?
In Hull. Yes, it's very cold. I've seen bits of frost on the floor, everything on the ground.
Good to see you, Jamalama Ding Dong. How's it going? Do you remember that song? Jamalama Ding Dong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first film I'm going to talk about, I think I'm the only person who's seen it, so we may not talk about it that long, is One More Shot. So has anyone seen One Shot with Scott Adkins?
Yes.
No.
That's
Sadly,
the one
no,
where terrorists attack the base. I actually had the stunt coordinator on, Dan Stiles, in the street interview with him, but we had to cut lots of it out. So I had to go back in and make quite a few edits. Yeah, so it was basically an action film all done in one take, but there were, I think, 3 or 4 cheats. Okay. You know, where they'll go into a room and it'll be dark for a second, and you know, then you're out of the room, and that'd be where there'd be a cut.
Yeah.
This is all shot at a real airport, to its credit. Plane gets diverted, people get off the plane, terrorist attack, there's a bomb, of course, and you know, Scott Adkins kicks ass. It's a direct sequel to One Shot in the sense that it literally takes place like 24 hours later. Extremely well choreographed action. I like Scott Adkins' action. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
Whether you buy into the believability of it or not is partly down to whether you're a fan and you like that kind of movie. But on the whole, I think his stuff is quite well done. What did you think of the first film then, Blue Collar?
I mean, I love him in general, and I didn't realize I was showing my kid after Dark Hour, he did the whole Echo fight breakdown. Of course, people get defensive, like, oh well, guys like Dark Hour don't know what they're talking about. But Scott Adkins joined this one group that it's professional stuntmen going over good and bad choreography. And Scott Adkins was in one, and I didn't realize Scott Adkins has a YouTube channel, so I subscribed to him. And yeah, I mean, after just I didn't realize how many movies he's been in. And a guy, he's everywhere. I mean, he's worked with Tony Jaa, Jackie Chan, Van Damme. I was like, wow. I mean, he's been in the game a long time.
Yeah. He's done sort of a lot of what you would used to call straight to video. I guess it's kind of straight to Netflix now or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna start definitely now binging more Scott Adkins movies, because he just seems like just such a just a likable, lovable guy, and the way he talks about other actors. I mean, it was funny him critiquing John Wick, and the next you know he's in John Wick 4.
Right. Yeah, that's right. I remember him in John Wick 4. Isn't he in the nightclub? Is it the nightclub?
Yeah, because he's the fat Russian gangster, and of course, people were so happy, like, because you could tell it was a fat suit, because no man that size can move like that when he did this roundhouse kick.
Yeah, he's so much fun in that film. He really is.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a proper laugh in that movie, isn't he?
Oh yeah.
Well,
I watched the thing with him and Donnie Yen, where he accidentally hit Donnie Yen for real, and he was so sorry. And then Donnie Yen, just like he said, in Hong Kong, these guys don't care if you hit them and break noses and bleed. Like, they want the real thing. Like, damn,
they'll die for their art.
When he broke down Donnie Yen's punch, like, Donnie Yen can hit you like right here and not touch you, but you feel like he just hits you like with full force, and how perfect Donnie Yen is, and it's disturbing.
Right.
Kind of shame that is being just stuck in the straight to DVD or straight to Netflix lot, because he seems to know what he's doing in terms of action. So why isn't he been made a movie star properly, theatrically.
Well, he was in one of the Expendables movies. I think he was like the guy with the red shirt, you know, who got killed.
Yeah.
Was he in the second one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm guessing he went up against Jason Statham and got kicked into a propeller. Is that him? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Mate, I've already forgotten the movie because it was so forgettable.
You're right. I forgot which one.
Second one's great. What are you on about?
Well, I mean,
not a fan. Not a fan of the Expendables films. I'm sorry.
I think the premise is better than the execution. The premise
is great. The problem is almost none of the main characters are ever going to get killed because everybody's got their eye on the next sequel. What it should have been was they should have just done one and gone all out and got everybody in it and made it like the Wild Geese, and different people got killed at different times. But they're always saying, "Oh no, we can do a sequel." It's like, oh, really? Anyway, guess where this was filmed? This because it's at a real airport.
I had to look up. It's an airport in London.
Yeah, that's got to have had some negotiations because airports are really touchy about this kind of thing.
Yeah, they are. Well, night shoots. It was filmed at Stansted Airport. So that's an airport just outside of Luton, which is sort of, about an hour out of London. They often call it Stansted London, but that's bollocks. It's just, it's not really a London airport. They just like to pretend it is. It's like one time our plane got diverted to London Southend, and it's like Southend is not in London, nor is it on the outskirts of London, nor anywhere near London. Just to sort of like try and placate the passengers. We're landing at London Southend. Last time I checked on the map, it's called Southend Airport. London Southend. To their credit, though, they did put us all on a bus, and then we also had a taxi waiting for us to take us all the way home. So I was actually quite happy. Hello, Stupenzo.
Sorry, I'm late. I woke up at 3 today.
That's
it's
right,
4
man.
now.
No worries.
How are you guys?
Yeah.
What did I miss?
Well, we just done the initial hellos, and we're talking about Scott Adkins.
Oh yeah.
And his new film, One More Shot, which I literally just finished watching before the stream. I liked it. I think it's an extremely clever film. I know the gimmick of shooting a movie in one take is kind of old hat now, but this movie picks up where the last one finished, and just sort of starts at this airport. Considering the choreography and all the different places they had to go to in the airport, I mean, it's extremely well done. At one point, there's a fight that ends up on the shuttle train that connects the two different terminals, and you get to go inside all kinds of different places. But there's lots of random American flags draped over things to say, "Hey, this is America." So someone must have bought. The art department must have got like X number of big Stars and Stripes banners on discount and chucked them in. That is Gemma Arthurton's sister, Hannah Arthurton. She's playing like a special agent. I mean, you've got things like they'll jump into a car. There's a car chase. They'll jump out of the car in another location, pick up the gunfight, go back inside. So it's very, very continual. I couldn't tell. I spotted one cheat. I'm sure there's probably about 3 or 4, but it's very well done. Fairly heavy on the CGI gunplay, but but it's a good. I was entertained. Which, if you want to, it's like do you know what it reminds me of? The early Steven Seagal type movies.
Yeah,
this is kind of on par with Under Siege. It doesn't quite have the same scale because, hey, Under Siege is set on a battleship.
Yeah,
but it's it's not bad. I give it a solid 7 out of 10.
honestly, with action films, that's all people want. 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10 sometimes, because they're action films. You don't take them too seriously.
What I always love about these movies is that, and I mean, it's a production technique. This girl was in Game of Thrones, by the way. She was one of the harpy people that wore the gold mask that would stab the Unsullied, right? Yeah, it's all the henchmen always wear sort of identical kit and have ski masks on. And that's so that they can be constantly recycled and be shot in lots of different scenes.
Yeah.
Money.
well, I think Dan, because I've interviewed the stunt coordinator for this. I think he had a core stunt team of about 20 people. And then there's about another 30 that did various bits. I mean, a lot of people get shot. This guy's in the first movie. He's the prisoner that the people have come to break out. So, like I said, the second movie is set 24 hours after one shot. But yeah, it's pretty good. Tom Berenger's got a small role, looking appropriately grizzled from his Florida tan beach house. But you know,
he's gotten old though. He has.
Yeah, he looks like he's wearing a mask of himself, like in Mission Impossible 2.
I thought you were about to say like Michael Myers in Halloween, sort of.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. He has a what's his name? The real tan guy, George Hamilton. He's got like a George Hamilton.
George Hamilton.
Yeah.
Is he still going? Is he still alive?
I doubt it, but that'd be cool if he is. Hopefully he's tanner than ever.
Yeah, it's funny you said that, Lance, because that was notorious for the first John Wick. Watching behind the scenes, these guys would have the same, basically, 15 stuntmen, and John Wick kills
Hamilton's still alive.
Yeah, he kills like 70 people. So they would say like how they would just take a mask off or change their hairstyle or something. But
yeah,
George Hamilton's 84 and he lives in Memphis.
Good for him. Yeah, there we go. Someone wearing that Tom Berenger mask again. I mean, he's pretty good in this. He's clearly like, they said to him, look, if you come to film in London in a cold airport, you'll be done in 2 days. His, I mean, I don't know what his minimum paycheck is. He's got to have been paid 100K.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah, it says the whole film was shot in 4 weeks, which,
yeah, it would have been series of night shoots.
For Tom Berenger's most recent roles involve him just kind of like in Training Day. He spends the whole movie like at a dinner table, like just talking to some other cops. And in Inception, he's kind of just like standing around a lot.
He's not a young man, is he? He can't be doing dangerous pursuit type stuff.
That's a cush gig. It's a pretty cush gig he's got,
Oh, dude, that reminds me of another watch party or chew the fat film. It's Deadly Pursuit. You know, the one with him and Sidney Lee. Yeah, that's
Clancy Brown as the villain. You got Clancy Brown as the villain. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, Kurgan.
That's all I need.
And also,
he's so good in.
And not forgetting a very young, sexy Kirstie Alley as well.
Oh yeah.
Funnily enough, I've been watching North and South today. I'll talk about that a bit later, and she's in that. This girl gets offed fairly early on. Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. It was good fun, and good action film. I was just thinking of the planning and rehearsals, and they kind of had endless access to this location, so it must have been pretty difficult. See the way the microphone there is gaffer taped onto that's probably gaffer taped onto some kind of guy that's running around with it with the camera and with his hand on the back of the DOP. I thought that, and usually the kind of the acting with the supporting cast in a film like this is usually pretty basic and naff, but actually, they were pretty good.
Yeah.
So there's Tom Berenger trying to get his eyes in focus. Yeah, no, it was.
Used to be, yeah. He used to be a bit of an action man himself, though, didn't he, Tom Berenger, back in the 80s?
Did you ever see a film he did with Deborah Winger called Betrayed?
Don't think I did. I remember he did one where he bumps into like this forgotten tribe.
Oh, that's
Bodica.
Emerald Forest.
Bodica. Think so. Bodica from Robocop's on it as well.
Emerald Forest is the one you're thinking of, where his son has actually gone to join them. And
is that Powers Booth though?
Oh no, yeah, you might. Yeah, that was Powers Booth. So you must be thinking of a different film.
Ooh, how did I know that?
I don't know, but you did. Google.
Powers Booth.
So yeah, I recommend One More Shot. 7 out of 10 from me. Good beer and pretzels movie. You know, just want to kick back, have a pizza, watch a fun action film. It's great. If you want a script that makes sense and you're looking for something of the quality of Die Hard, it's not quite there, but few films are. Definitely a cut above. Definitely a cut above. One of Atkins' best films, I think. All right.
I was thinking Die Hard 2, though, because it's in an airport. A bunch of terrorists are trying to break out another terrorist. So it sounds very similar.
It's actually probably in terms of the action, it's better than Die Hard 2. You know, there's not that much action in Die Hard 2.
Yeah, you're right.
It's mostly suspense, isn't it?
Yeah. Die Hard 2 is a weird one. But you know, I don't know why they didn't just shoot it on an oil rig. Would have been much more fun. So let's have a look at that. Seeing as I've mentioned it, and we do like going down random rabbit holes, to quote Enzo on a night out. Let me bring up Betrayed, which you guys hadn't heard of. I saw this in the States in 1988, and it's in my book, of course. That's not the reason I was mentioning it. I just realised that's the release date. So Deborah Winger is an FBI agent. She goes undercover. Tom Berenger is suspected to have connections with the Ku Klux Klan and an organised terrorist group within. But she goes undercover with him for 2 weeks, and all she gets to know is like a single dad, caring family man. And then one night he says, "Oh, you know, we're going on a special thing tonight." And she turns up, and loads of his other drinking buddies are there. And then this van turns up, and shit-looking scared African-American guys let out of it, and they're basically doing a sea hunt, I think it was called. And they let the guy go and give him 2 minutes head start, and then they all go chasing after him with dogs and shotguns. And of course, she's like, by this time, she's fallen in love with him. And then suddenly this vision she has of this, you know, ideal man who's actually really lovely and maybe doesn't have a bad bone in his body. Of course, he's a deeply seated racist and not a very nice individual. And then how does she extrapolate herself from that and then also get him convicted? So it's not a bad film. I can't remember what I gave it in the book, probably like 6 or 7 out of 10. There's a few things that don't quite ring true, but good performances from Deborah Winger and Tom Berenger. If anyone has seen it in the chat, I would like to know. So just going to say hello to a few people. Good to see you, Melvin.
Yeah.
Hello, Melvin.
Enzo, who won Whiplash? CLS Studio.
Whiplash. Everyone kind of wins a round usually. I know Blue Collar won the last round. He stole it from Fiona. Fiona was winning from the chat, and then Blue Collar decimated with his triple thriplash. It doesn't matter.
TNZ is here. Tuned in. Great to see Scott Adkins getting work. Should be in bigger films. I agree. I'd quite like to write him a movie, actually. I do know a lot of people that work with him, but it may be sewn up in the script department. Who knows?
Yeah, Lance, watching the trailer for that film, I like the top comment, and people agree that, Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White, I mean, damn it, in my lifetime, Michael Jai White's the most underrated action star. He should be in like a billion movies. Like,
he's also an underrated comedy star, man. He's funny.
He's so good.
I saw him in something, but I forget what it is.
Spawn, Black Dynamite, that new Western movie he's in, Johnny Black or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, no, he's made like 1,000 just straight to DVD movies.
He was in so the real good one that he's in is he was in the HBO Mike Tyson movie Tyson, where he plays Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
and George C. Scott is his crazy trainer. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah,
Michael Jai White, man.
There's the late great John Hurt.
You know him from Dark Knight. He's in Dark Knight as Gamble. That's where you recognize Michael Jai White.
I think I saw an interview where he was complaining about Steven Seagal in Exit Wounds, but I forgot what it was. It was on about
Exit Wounds. That's what I saw him in.
That's right here.
Afraid so. Yeah. He was complaining
bad movie, but Doug should get a laugh out of it.
So you're saying he was complaining about Seagal?
Yeah, but to be honest, I think everyone fucking was. Everyone who works with him.
I've got two close and very reliable friends who've both worked with Seagal on different movies, right? One of the movies was called Submerged. Basically, die hard on a submarine.
No, you mean Under Siege on a submarine.
Yeah, my friend who was on it said, I mean, we need to do a Steven Seagal special show at some point. That could be a Chew the Fat. Seagal's career and the rumors.
I mean, I love Hard to Kill and what's the other one? Above the Law.
He's made some good films.
Yeah, I like the one where he takes on all the Rastas, even though they're played like
Marked for Death.
Marked for Death.
That is unintentionally hilarious. It is.
Yeah, they're all fun. Here's the thing about Steven Seagal. He's got this like great, especially in the '80s action movie era. He's got this great like everyman aspect to him, where he's not particularly handsome. He's kind of balding. He's like vaguely ethnic. And yeah, I don't know. It just kind of works. And also, unlike most of the other movie action stars, he can actually throw down, or at least he could when he was young. I mean, the dude could kick your ass probably.
Yeah, those Space Ice videos are brilliant. The guy actually has a fucking double to do his walking scenes. His fucking walking scenes.
Well,
what the hell?
Let me expand further on my friend's
yes.
Spirit. Now, I want to put a caveat to this. I have another friend who worked with him on Under Siege 2, which, by the way, I happen to think is a very underrated movie. I really like Under Siege 2.
That was the one on the train with the bad guy who's the guy from Talk Radio. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's good fun, and it's got some good action scenes in it, and a lot of supporting actors that I really like are in it. My friend in that played the really hot chick with the sniper rifle who tries to take him out when she's on one end of the train. Afia, her name is, and she said that she had a great experience on that film.
It's probably because she's a hot chick, dude.
Well, yeah, he really looked out for her. So look, what now? Jonathan Banks is in Under Siege 2 as well, and he's great.
Is he?
Yeah, he's one of the mercenaries. He says, "Hey, we're taking casualties in the engine." You know, that's when they're under fire.
So funny. Every man who's worked with Steven Seagal is like, oh, he's a giant jerk, and then like the pretty girl's like, he's actually very nice. I liked him. He's very nice to me.
I mean, it's purely a total coincidence, of course. We need a trans actor to work with him, and then see how that goes.
I would like to be. It'd be funny to be on a Steven Seagal movie and be the only guy who gets along with him. And you're like, is there something wrong with me? Like, what if you were Steven Seagal's yes men in his entourage, and you got to kind of like, walk around with him, hyping up, and everyone knows him as this giant, I don't know.
I feel fucking bad if I met him and he turned out to be nice. I was like, oh Christ, I've been making fun of this fucker. I can't believe it. I'm an arsehole. I'm an arsehole.
One of the things you have to remember is different people see different versions of someone on any given different day.
Yeah.
And it all
Did
really
you work with him, or
depends.
did you just see him somewhere? You know, like.
Well, I mean, but it's also like, you know, sometimes people just
Had bad
also
days.
people change over periods of time. But anyway, my two friends that worked on Submerged said that he couldn't. He doesn't learn his lines. He has all of his lines on an idiot board. So actually, if you watch his movies knowing this, okay, you'll see that he does this thing where he always kind of sort of looks kind of down like this and you can actually see it's just the way that they do the close-up, and there's always this slight down, you know, the camera's always slightly looking up at him, slightly looking down. That's him reading his lines off a big writing whiteboard, right?
Yeah.
And
he has a weird delivery.
Yeah,
he has a weird delivery as well. Like, he sounds like he's trying to be a black cowboy. Like, I don't know what you're trying to get at, my brother, but I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Just...
Yeah, he's like,
Lot
he growls
of
his
that
lines,
going
you know,
on.
like an action hero. Like, hey, man.
I mean,
he kind of has his eyes closed when he talks too. He's like, I don't know, man. It's not cool.
yeah, the other guys that worked on Submerge included Ross McCall and Peter Youngblood Hills, who both had big parts in Band of Brothers. Ross McCall's a director now. You had Nick Brimble, who was in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. William Hope, who played Gorman in Aliens. So, you know, I mean, not a bad cast. No, I can see my two friends' names in the cast, but I'm not going to mention who they are. Although, you know, you can eliminate the ones that I have mentioned. So then another friend of mine, some years later, because I think Submerge was 2005. So for anyone watching, it's a Steven Seagal special tonight, meets Little House on the Prairie. So yeah, I'm just trying to find I don't want to share my friend's IMDb profile here, but the film he did was called something like Stealth. It was about stealth plane. And we were talking. I was around his house actually for a drink, and because he used to live just down the road from me, and I said, "What's your worst experience in the industry?" And it just, without hesitation, he went, "Oh God, I worked on this Steven Seagal movie." And I said, "Oh right," and he told me the name of it, and I literally like rented it the next day, and that, you know, we talked about it some more, and he said, "Yeah, you know, he really played up that whole mafia angle." And then one time, this limo turned up. He always arrived in a big car and everything, and these two, you could politely describe them as hip hop honeys, kind of like went everywhere with him on set, and they would always have umbrellas above his head. And I was like, what's this? So that was that was his experience, and he said the same thing. He said, so Flight of Fury, that's the name of the film, right? And he said that he didn't learn his lines, so Mark was feeding him the lines. I mean, my friend, whose name I won't mention, was feeding him the lines, and he was like not giving him the scripted response. So, you know, after a couple of takes of this in their main dialogue scene, it was like cut, and my friend said, "Why don't we improvise? Let's improvise a bit." Cool, yeah, you know. Or Seagal said, "Why don't we improvise?" And yeah, I'm fine with that. Just, you know, let's improvise. So, okay, you know, okay, action. So Mark improvises, and then he's like, "Why are you not saying your line?" Well, we just said we were going to improvise. That's what improvising means.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. So, not a pleasant experience. I do notice that even in the, you know, these, like, he kind of started going straight to video, didn't he, around the mid 2000s? And if you look at all of the films he's done from about 2004 onwards, there's always an actress in it who looks like this.
Yeah,
I
wonder why.
I forgot his last actual theater release movie. Yeah, what's it been, like 2001 or 2?
The Glimmer Man. What else? Exit
Are
Wounds, maybe.
you're talking about his last like cinema release?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Probably Exit Wounds, I'm thinking, in 2001 with DMX.
Yeah. I think that was the
forgot
last
it was
one I saw on a big screen. So for those people watching, if you want to tune into a Steven Seagal special, we'll definitely do that one night. Maybe I'll
Wow. Apparently, Beyond the Law in 2019 had a theatrical. They actually had a theatrical release.
I was watching a little bit of that.
I didn't know that. Wow.
It's like, yeah, Steven Seagal has a thing where it's like there'll be someone else who's doing the acting, you know, damn it, we gotta go in there, you know, I'm acting, and then he'll be like, hey man, listen, no, we don't, you know, he always has some kind of line like that. You should have fooled me, man. You know, it's just like every time it's like I said, he's just reading a cue card.
Yeah, he has always had some good actors.
Yeah, in his early films. I mean, Tommy Lee Jones and
Henry Silver and
Busey was you know, in Under Siege. So yeah, he had some good cast.
Yeah, Keith David in fucking Mark for Death. Jesus Christ, I just remembered.
Yeah. Keith David's great. He was in They Live, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
I think what happened was
so much.
He's got some look. If you don't work in the film industry, but you've probably heard that there are these various tax breaks and things, right, with different countries, and so his production company got some kind of finance deal in Eastern Europe because of certain business connections he has, and so they would put X amount of money into a film. And you know that line in Independence Day where it says, "We don't think they really pay $10,000 for a hammer and $20,000 for a toilet seat, do you?" You know, so anyway, I don't want to say too much, but I think you know where I'm going with this. So that's how his films get funded, and they just churn them out. And he turns up for the minimum number of days. So he's got a body double. So, and you'll notice all of his dialogue stuff, it's always very tightly shot. It's very rare that he does a scene where him and someone else are in the same shot.
Yeah.
And that's because basically if he doesn't need to be there, he's not there. He has a body double that does all of his reverses. So when the actors are doing their close-ups, he's never there. He's either in his trailer or probably in the limo with the two ladies, I guess. Yeah. But, anyway, it's not a Steven Seagal special night tonight, so we'll
always like
move on.
You know, like when he's giving his lines, you know, it's always like relaxing.
So what else have we all been watching this week? I've been watching some older stuff in preparation for a couple of... I've been watching North and South with Patrick Swayze and a whole host of other actors. I completely thought Keith Carradine was in that.
Wow.
I watched Andersonville again in preparation for a stream. I've written to 4 of the cast from Andersonville to ask them to come on. I've been watching Friends from the very beginning.
Oh, you poor bastard.
Well, we'll come back and talk about that in a sec. And then I've also been watching The Traitors UK. So those are the things I've got to talk about, apart from One More Shot, which we've already done. Bastard, just give me a short summary of what you've been watching this week, what you've seen, old or new.
I did rewatch The Mask of Zorro because I'm
the
going to be doing
Banderas.
I'm going to be doing a live stream with Tony Down Under on Friday around about 6 o'clock in the morning because it's 6 o'clock at night where he lives.
That's the one with Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, yeah, great movie.
And Christ, it is still a great movie. It is.
I saw that with my friend and her 2 kids, and I'll never forget that because they weren't tall enough to see over the seats. So they had to have their seats upright and kind of sit on them, and she was very annoyed.
I remember seeing Catherine Zeta-Jones for the first time in the trailer to that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Who's that woman? Who is she? Who is that lady?
Yeah. Well,
apparently she was in an old TV show.
She was in a Titanic
Darling
movie
Buds of May.
Yeah, Darling Buds of May.
Yeah, I did not know she was Welsh as well because she does look very Spanish. She's kind of got this Latin look to her.
Well, before that, she was in a stage play with a certain person on this stream called Bugsy Malone. And absolutely everybody in the cast, there were 6 casts of 30 kids. And I think she
You're
was
talking about you. You were in a play with Bugsy Malone. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
I thought you were saying there was like another fat, hairy guy in there that looked like me or something. I thought you were being funny.
There were some of those. Yeah, she was in cast 3. I was in I was understudy. I was brought in quite late to understudy someone who wasn't apparently going to be able to do shows. And then the run of the show, it ended. It ended like 6 weeks or 2 months earlier than they thought it was going to because of lack of ticket sales. And it was an amazing show, brilliant set. So I only got to do one performance, which sucked.
With her?
No, but I did meet her. She came on the last night. I saw her at some of the rehearsals. And she came on the last night when all of the casts were all there, plus all their fans. The last night was amazing. Such good fun. Anyway, so what else have you been watching? Zorro?
What have I been watching? Oh, yeah. Been rewatching a little bit of Seinfeld as well on Netflix.
Is that in preparation for the new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm? Because I can't wait to see that.
Nah, I just wanted to rewatch Seinfeld because it's been a while since I saw it.
Do you know I've never seen an episode the whole way through.
It starts off okay with the first season, but as soon as it gets to season 2 and 3, that's when it really gets great.
Okay.
I'm way more of a Curb fan. I don't know if you guys watch Curb, but it's hilarious.
I've only seen the first series.
I love Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Every episode's so good. Larry David has like the most ridiculous, like rich white people problems. You know, like every episode is so amazing.
I love the. It's in season 1. I love the typo that occurs in the paper. It's beloved, beloved aunt.
Woman leads a decent life, and this is how she ends up.
Yeah,
dude, I love the one. So there's one where he has to, because it's always Cheryl, his wife, like putting him up to something.
When I first watched it, I thought she was really his wife in real life.
Cheryl Hines is in a really, really good poker movie called The Grand, and it's very funny. And what's cool about the movie is the poker contest is like real, so all the actors like played a real poker game. Because for continuity purposes, it was easier to just shoot a real poker game and not know who was going to win. So the real winner like wins the movie. But what was cool is, Cheryl Hines, his wife, Cheryl David, she puts them up to like, they're complaining because in their backyard, their big, beautiful, like Beverly Hills backyard, they can see like a power line and it's like in someone else's backyard. And they're like, okay, well, we need to get their permission. We need to get them to sign a letter that we could get that power line removed. So they go meet him, and him and his wife are like huge Seinfeld fans. And they're like, oh my God, we love you. We love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. And they're like, that's great. Well, we want to get this thing removed. And what do you say? He's like, well, honestly, we would love to meet Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So if you can get that to happen, totally. And he's just like, are you serious? Like, he's so insulted by like the presumption. And of course he says, I'll do it. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus doesn't want to do it, and he convinces her, and they go visit her, and the guy, and the dude's not even there, right? And he's the biggest Julia Louis-Dreyfus fan, and their cat just died, so the woman is like inconsolable, and like Julia Louis-Dreyfus has to like, make this woman feel better. She's like, hey, I'm here, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, our cat. But yeah, the Grand, dude, you got Woody Harrelson, David Cross, Werner Herzog, in one of the best roles I've ever seen him in. Okay. He's so funny. And David Cross is very funny in this movie too. But you just meet all these cool, like interesting characters. They're all entering a poker contest in Las Vegas. And like I said, it's a real poker contest. And Werner Herzog, his character is just simply the German. That's what they call him. And he's like an insane, like murderous, like he's joking about how like when he plays poker, one of the things he likes to do, he's like, there's nothing more powerful than killing. To me, the act of killing. So when I play poker, sometimes I have a little dish full of ants, and I will take an ant and squish it as I'm playing poker just to feel the life leave my fingers. And it's so empowering. One time I strangled a goat. It was, it's just like, dude, he's insane in that movie. You've got to watch it.
Do that voice pretty well there.
I feel like I want to watch this film right now.
It's good. It's very good.
That's good. I like discovering old. I can't believe I've never seen this.
Zach Penn. Zach Penn is the one who wrote it and directed it, I think. And he did a few other movies you probably heard of that I can't recall which ones. So.
You got Dennis Farina and Hank Azaria in there.
Yeah. It's like 12 players or something like that. Ray Romano. Yeah. I forgot who's all in it. I should rewatch it.
Yeah, Ray Romano's pretty young there.
Oh, yeah. And Jamalama. Yeah. Cheryl Hines in real life is married to RFK Jr.
RFK?
And, who? They did a podcast together on Tim Dillon's show.
Is that a Robert Kennedy or someone?
Yes. The guy who's running. Yes. Or was running. Yeah. The guy with the weird voice.
This guy, Richard Pine, he's in Curb Your Enthusiasm. This guy's in Curb.
They're trying to play poker on Curb, or not poker. They're trying to go play golf one day on Curb, and they always go to the golf course with him and his agent. And this time, his cousin, who I forget who he plays at Curb, but that guy comes with them. And they're like, all right, quick, let's go get some quick breakfast, some coffee, and we'll go hit the course. Sooner we get out there, the better. And he's like, all right, I want my eggs. I want some scrambled eggs, and I want onions. I want crispy onions. And they're like, please don't order crispy onions, dude. They take too long to make. And, of course, he orders his crispy onions, and they all eat, and they don't get out on the golf course in time. And it's very sad because they're stuck behind slow people. You see what I'm saying? It's like rich white people problems. Like these are the conflicts of every episode. It's so hilarious. It is.
I gotta check it out. I do.
Gotta check out the brand. Curb Your Enthusiasm deserves a stream.
Yeah. The Grand. I'm not understanding why all the promotional material is like putting Woody Harrelson front and center. The movie's definitely an ensemble piece.
No. The Enzo Sandtime has run out now. So Blue Collar Loser. What have you been watching?
Well, I told Enzo.
I didn't even talk about what I was watching. I was like,
I know.
Luke's watch.
you filled in and used up your time.
I told Enzo this yesterday. To your credit,
definitely talking about a Norm named Gnome. Okay, when it's my turn. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna come back to you. Don't worry. Go on.
No, so like you said, I never heard of it, but I watched The Brother's Son, and the first 5 minutes, I'm like, this show's for me.
Yeah,
the guy's baking a cake.
Yeah, that's gone better. It has.
Yeah, it's like you open up with a guy baking a cake and he murders 10 people in his freaking kitchen. I'm like, with a knife. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, that kitchen fight is really well done.
Why are you so violent, Chris?
I know it's the American. Because I like seeing guys do things I can't do, like kill 10 guys with a kitchen knife while baking a cake.
You have a lot of pent-up hostility.
I do.
Does that mean that you've tried killing someone whilst baking a cake, but you realized this was not within your achievable
I just know it's inevitable. I will eventually have to kill somebody. It's going to come eventually, and God forbid it be you, but my day will come. I have to murder someone for some reason. Don't
let it be me, man.
No, it'll hopefully be in self-defense.
Yeah.
Don't let it be me.
Like you said, Lance, it's a great dark comedy too. That's what's funny. It's like it's hard to mix action with dark comedy, and they do it so well, and kick-ass choreography. I was blown away.
Yeah. Jamalama mentioned Rounders. Yeah, I quite liked Rounders. I saw that at the cinema, I think.
Malkovich.
And the great Martin Landau, sadly no longer with us. He's gone up to take control of Moonbase Alpha permanently now. So these are shots from The Brother's Son. We talked about it briefly before. I'd seen 3 episodes of it then. I've still seen 3. I've seen 3.5, I think. Because I fell asleep watching episode 4.
Yeah,
not because it was boring. It was just because I put it on at 4:00 and it was like, Lance, I think you need to turn the lights out and go to bed now.
If I watch anything laying down, I could probably fall asleep. It doesn't matter what time it is.
Yeah. Hot or not?
Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up in El Paso, and I get down with those chola chicks and an Asian chola on top of that. Sure.
Yeah. That would be sort of. No, I can't do it. I was trying to combine the word Godzilla with what you just said, but it didn't work. Liking that pink suit. You know, Luke, that's a suit. If you're going to turn up on Drinker's Stream wearing a suit, I feel it should be that one.
I'll send you a $40 super chat for that. Or
I will when I reach Miami. Come on.
Luke looks so cute in his suit.
Yeah, wearing loafers with no socks like Don Johnson.
Yeah, I did like the fight with the dinosaur outfit.
As soon as I'm watching it, because you mentioned it, and I'm on a treadmill watching the show, laughing my ass off trying to fall off the treadmill because I'm like, I seen it coming with the dinosaur suits.
So is it set up for a season 2? Or does
I kind of hope so.
You know, Netflix says Netflix. They always leave it ambiguous.
Yeah. I think Netflix. I think all Netflix. I heard that most Netflix shows are automatically greenlit for 2 seasons.
It sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, like I think
unless they do really bad, I think they don't get a 2nd season. But I think a lot of times,
technically speaking, their longest show is Cobra Kai. If you want to, which didn't even start on Netflix neither.
Started on YouTube.
Exactly. So they only have technically. I mean, figure season 1 and 2 are not Netflix, but Netflix. I've never seen a Netflix only show have 5 seasons.
That was the beginning of like YouTube sort of producing their own content, and then
where everything went wrong.
They'd sold it to Netflix. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a flip flop where we have we should like HBO and Paramount Plus and Disney. These companies should be producing content, and Netflix should be acquiring content. Where like the roles are reversed now. Netflix is now making the most crap, and HBO and Warner and DC their job is like acquisitions. They're just trying to own previously existing stuff, and then they have to kind of make something once they buy it, so that way they still own it. It's just it's the roles are reversed here.
Yeah,
I don't. I remember when Netflix was a DVD company, and we would get the most obscure movies, like concert DVDs and documentaries, any kind of movie you could think of. If it's on a disc, you could get it sent to you like in a day, and then we would rip it on our computer and then send it back the next day. 3 movies every day. God, we acquired so many.
Talking of obscure movies, the man that goes down faster than Steven Seagal's film Submerged.
Oh, whoa! Who's here?
That's an intro.
Oh, mate, I do my best. Well, I recommend. I mean, look, I recommend Brother Sun. I like the way they do this thing with the opening titles, where they've always got the title on this, some kind of neon sign or.
It's cool.
It's very clever, very cool, very, very now.
Definitely.
Enjoying that show. What would you give it out of 10 now you've seen it all?
At least an 8, maybe a 9. It's hard. I hate the whole 10 thing. I always say just recommend it, but 8's good.
Well, we do out of 10 on here, buddy.
The pressure.
That's okay. You can recommend it. Give it a solid 8 if you know.
Definitely.
I think is probably where you're at. Good. I like this guy. This guy's called. He's got the best name apart from Gooch, of course. It's called Bill Bonk.
Oh yeah,
Bill Bonk in Brother Sun playing a ladle. Is that called a ladle?
No, that's a banjo.
That's it. Yeah. Ladle's a big spoon, isn't it? But you can see the So, Jay, what's up? What have you been watching this week?
I just finished The Bear.
You managed to bump Stephenso to last. Well done.
Yeah.
I want to hear about The Bear. I keep hearing so much about
I got one more
show.
episode of the first season and then 2nd season, but I'm watching it too.
It's 2nd season.
I
can't believe how good
what? 2nd season of The Bear?
Yeah.
Is that out?
It's my to-do list.
Oh. Yeah, it's next level. The acting, the storyline, everything. Like it gets just amazing. Amazing.
Did you get like 20 minutes into an episode and then did you have to go and make a beef pastrami on rye?
I've been eating the beef sandwiches.
Yeah. Well, my dad was a master chef, so like that kitchen atmosphere. I grew up like when I was 10, 11 years old. I grew up in the kitchen. I started working at that age, so I learned real quick.
For your huge physique is revealed.
Well, football and everything, but yeah, I can't recommend that show enough. I know Copa and Zach's recommended that to me, and they said you have to watch it. Really, I just love it.
It's on Hulu too.
Yeah. It's a good show. I liked it. I liked the storyline with how all the people end up protesting, and the characters are good. The lead guy is very good in the show. Jeremy Allen White, isn't it, the lead guy?
Yeah.
I love the soundtrack, man.
Yes.
The first episode, I was very excited because I heard not one, not two, but like 3 Budo's Band songs. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if you guys get down with Budo's Band or Afrobeat, but that stuff's tight. It rocks. And then, a lot of Wilco and who else did I hear? What's his name?
Tom Petty. There's
who's the new guy? I can't. I'm blanking on his name. He sang that one song. Nancy and so on. Nancy and on and on. Come on. Anyway, big guy, famous guy. Anyway, good stuff. Yeah, Tom Petty. The soundtrack rocks.
It's awesome. It fits each scene. The music, it blends in with the scene really, really well. It's not awkward. Like, you remember when we were discussing Blue Eyed Samurai, some of the scenes were thrown off by the music. It was like, this is like, has a really good music scene blend. Like, it's done perfect. And of course the acting, like the second season, like, Lance, you better get a tissue because the second season is insane. It's really good.
I'll definitely have a tissue ready. I've always got them ready next to my computer for a variety of reasons.
Father John Misty, that was who I'm thinking of. Sorry, Nancy from now on. Anyway,
so
I've been making these the beef sandwiches. I don't know how well you can see this. I got a ring light, but yeah, I kind of cheated the first time with this. I was using like stew beef, but then I also did buy a shoulder roast. So I'm going to actually make the real sandwiches that are like thinly sliced with the seasoning, and I got the what's it called, the Giardina. I'm gonna be eating those for season 2.
I'm interested to look at Jeremy's career, because in The Bear he comes across as quite young, and I think there was an illusion for a lot of people that, well, wow, this guy's come out of nowhere, but he's been a jobbing actor since 2006. He did 4 episodes of Law and Order between 2006 and 2010, playing 4 different characters. So they must have liked him because they brought him back, several times. He was one of the main characters in Shameless. I'm guessing that was the American. Yeah, that's the American version of Shameless, which is the remake of the far superior British version.
He's sad on Iron Claw.
Iron Claw.
He's very, very broody actor. That's he's really probably start getting typecast as these broody actors.
It's sad to read that he married actress Addison Timlin in October 2019. Got 2 kids. One of whom was born in lockdown. Filed for divorce in May 2023, and now he's dating Spanish pop singer Rosalia.
That is sad.
I thought you were going to say Dua Lipa. I was like, oh no.
So I don't know. That's kind of sad to read that.
All my lady friends, all my girlfriends are like drooling over his recent like Calvin Klein ad that he's like just doing pull-ups in his underwear on a rooftop somewhere.
Right.
I've seen that video shared everywhere. Ladies, chill.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it, and I don't particularly hunt down.
The dude's pretty jacked. I'll give him that.
Oh, good. This actor I really rate in the show, the one who plays
Richie.
Yeah.
I hate him, but yeah, he does such a good job.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of
lovable idiot.
Yeah, you kind of you despise him by the end, but
all I can say is the second season, it's gonna throw you for a loop. It's just,
you want him dead.
So he plays the actor's name is Eben Moss Bacharach. I wonder if that's related to Burt Bacharach. I can't see that here. He was in the first season of Andor. I forgot about that. Also,
is he like British in real life? That'd be funny.
Oh, no. Yeah, he was. Now I remember him. He was the friendly. friendly one to
like, is he a really good actor, or is he just like this guy in real life playing?
No, he's a good actor. He's been jobbing since 2001, so he's been going longer than Jeremy. Been in kind of like a lot of sort of B movies. He was in The Lake House, and then television, same kind of deal. He's been in a television film called Porn and Chicken, which I feel I need to see now. Also,
I've seen it. It was an HBO original. It was a Comedy Central original movie,
right?
And it's about like dudes hanging out, watching porn, and eating chicken. Believe it or not, I haven't seen it, but
funny enough,
I know about it.
Well, he did 3 episodes of Law and Order. He was in the Last Ship, 10 episodes, so kind of a regular character, and was in 25 episodes of Girls. So Person of Interest, Rubicon, Kidnapped. He's done a few of the big shows doing the rounds.
Yeah, that show Girls has some. That's with Adam Driver, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Produced by Lena Dunham, who. I watched. Funny enough, I watched the whole of that, all 6 seasons. Binged it in lockdown because when you were looking for anything you hadn't seen.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my ex-partner put it on, and we were like, watch the first 3, and we're like, yeah, okay, I'm kind of wanting to see where this goes. And I remember when I saw Adam Driver in it, I remember saying, this actor seems to be better than everyone else in this show. I picked up on that really, really quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
And then, unfortunately, he got cast in Star Wars, so it's all downhill from there.
Wasn't he like Lena Dunham's love interest in that show?
Yeah,
he was.
He has like sex scenes with her and stuff.
Yeah, and he got to.
What a thespian!
She got to pick him. Yeah.
What a professional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Matty Matheson. He's the guy who's like a YouTube celebrity chef. He like produced the show, and has a pretty funny role, at least in the first season. I'm sure he gets better. Yeah, this little girl, she's got the crazy eyes, but yeah, she is good.
Oh, I can't
in the show.
Her.
She does. She does the thing where, when she gets, when she tries to make a point, and she probably does this in real life, like when you're arguing with her, like if you're her spouse. But she does the thing where her eyes, like you can see the whites on the tops and the bottoms of her eyes when she starts getting serious. When she starts talking to her, and her eyes like get almost like dilated.
And they kind of like bulge out, sort of thing.
They're like the crazy eyes,
That's Io Edebiri, American actress. Oh, she performs the role of performed a voice in Big Mouth. She's the one who's taken over doing the voice of the black female character student in Big Mouth.
Yeah,
that's her. Yeah, okay, Missy.
Because we're not allowed to do impersonations of other.
Yeah, really. It won't stop me. It won't stop me.
Well, she's been acting since 2014. First movie was called The Shit House, and she was uncredited. Perhaps teased about that.
Are we still talking about Crazy Eyes?
Yeah.
She did win the award, Golden Globe this year, and I think she probably deserved it. It was good. She's good.
She's good.
This is Chris Elliott's daughter.
Oh,
she was. Yeah, she was on Saturday Night Live as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She was on there for a couple
Cabin
seasons.
Boy is your father.
She won a Golden Globe for.
Awesome.
Sorry, let me get a picture of her. She's on the right. She won a Golden Globe. For her role in The Bear. Pretty good. I need to see season 2. Is it all out? Like the whole season?
Yeah, it's all out, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that on? Is that on Disney?
Hulu.
No,
Hulu. Okay.
But what's Jeremy Allen and the young lady, they both won leads in a comedy or musical series or something.
Oh, without a doubt. I guarantee you when you watch season 2, there's 2 episodes. Copa said, him and Zach warned, said, you need to watch it and just beware, man. You're going to see some incredible acting.
Oh, yeah.
Forks and fishes and, or fishes and forks. And like Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. John Odenkirk.
Oliver Platt?
It is like the best 2 episodes I think I've seen in probably 20 plus years.
Sweet.
It's that good.
Oliver Platt, I love him, and he's good in this show.
Yeah.
Did you guys see him? Did you guys see when Oliver Platt played Arnold Schwarzenegger in The 10?
No.
What?
Oh, okay. You guys you should watch it. It's funny. And
he's kind of like
The 10 and Cabin Boy. Watch those 2 movies for next week, please.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Oliver Platt's like been around forever, and he's a competent actor, and done some amazing supporting roles. But I kind of want to see him in something really meaty where he's headlining it to see what he can really do, because I think there's a really explosive performance in him, waiting to get out on the right project. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's always
comedic roles, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, he's always a supporting actor role. Like he was in with Kevin Spacey in that series as well as a supporting actor. What's that one?
Three Musketeers.
He was in Three Musketeers.
I liked him in Three Musketeers.
This must be season 2. This still, right?
Yeah, that's season 2. Yeah.
Olivia Colman.
Damn.
Wow,
love her.
Yeah, wow, she's a national treasure, which we've loaned you.
Peep Show fans at.
Yeah, a massive Peep Show fan, man.
I love every Mitchell and Webb show is like my favorite British humor.
I love that. I love the episode where he's chatting up the girl and he's using lines from Stalingrad, the book he's been reading, and he's like, red army breaks round both sides, and he's slowly slipping his arms around her, and I'm like, dude, this is such a bad shut up line.
I love when he goes hunting with his in-laws or whatever. He's trying to impress them.
Yeah. Fucking wins the bed. He tries to break its neck, the fucking head comes off.
God. Anyway.
Oh man.
Peep Show is a great show.
I love their sketch comedy too. Mitchell and Webb look and stuff.
Yeah, those two are funny. Yeah, fucking funny together, them two. Really
Oliver Platt was good in Flatliners too. Like he was.
Yeah, he's always funny in that. I think Oliver Platt has always been funny.
Yeah.
Dude, Lake Placid, where he plays like a Steve Irwin, like Playboy.
I thought he played the crocodile in Lake Placid.
That movie was stupid fun in the theaters, just because for what it was.
Yeah.
My favorite is the end credit shot where you see that giant ass crocodile in the back of that semi truck.
Betty White owned that movie. She is so goddamn good in that movie.
Olivia.
There's a very young Olivia Colman in season 1 of Peep Show. Can you believe Peep Show is 2003? Damn, that's like 19 years ago.
I watched it right after high school, basically. I started getting into all that British stuff. Because like I said, because of Netflix, we were able to like order all these random DVDs from overseas and stuff.
David Mitchell is his character is Mark, and he's constantly like when you hear him talking in his head, he's always going, I hope she doesn't get scared by my freakishly large balls. If you've seen a comedy called Confetti, Robert Webb is in it with Olivia Colman, and they play a couple. It's like a pseudo documentary about 3 couples getting married and which one's going to have the most spectacular wedding and win a house, right? And they're playing a naturist couple, and let's just say that Robert Webb should be called Robert Third Leg Webb. And him and Olivia Colman got their kit off in that movie on the understanding that their bits were going to be covered up by blurred footage, but the film ran out of money and they didn't have enough budget left for the post-production. So they just left them in it naked completely because they're naturists. They said, oh, well, they're naturists.
Yeah.
And Robert Webb wrote about it in his autobiography. The screening of the film was the first time he found out about it, and he was fucking horrified, and he stormed out. But, you know, I'll be thinking, hey, man, now everyone knows you've got a massive wang, so what's the problem? But
I did look up, Lance, for whatever it's worth. The Bear, I mean, Rotten Tomatoes, season 1, 100%, season 2, 99%. So the high praise from critics and fans. Not 99% is pretty good.
Oh,
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good show. But have you guys ever seen the movie The Bear with the bears in the northern Canadian?
You brought this up a few times.
I love it. I love that movie so much. It's good.
Is that the one? Is that the one where they're stuck in the wilderness, like 3 guys?
It's 2 bears running around, and the guy from GoldenEye and
Pierce
what's
Brosnan?
the other movie? Checky Cairo. That's his name. I can't pronounce his name.
Oh,
yeah,
the French actor.
Yeah.
Is
He's
that the-
running around.
Yeah.
Is that the one where the little bear eats mushrooms and goes on a
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, yeah, that's a good one.
I
Yeah.
love that movie.
Pre-cocaine bear.
Right.
Okay.
I almost thought
Mushroom
thought you were going to be on the. I almost thought you were talking about the Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin one
Yeah.
where they're
No, that's the
hunting
That's
Edge.
the
like-
one. That's the
Oh,
one I was
Yes,
thinking
that's
of.
it. That's
Yeah.
it.
Take another Edge, which is
There's-
also a good.
yeah.
The bear plays both bears in those movies. Bart the Bear.
Yeah.
won an
Yeah,
1997.
yeah, Leroy spotted that. You're talking about the
I
edge.
love it.
This is from that confetti movie.
I'll check that out.
And actually, I actually really like this film because the cast are really fun, and the 3 couples. See, Martin Freeman's in it as well. The 3 couples that are getting married, their wedding is all around a big sort of. They're all into playing tennis, so it's all around a tennis. They come out in like a massive rolling tennis ball and all this. And at one point, the girl has a nose job to reduce the size of her nose before the wedding. So she's got half her scenes where she's got a bandage on her nose. Just before the wedding, she has the bandage taken off. And she sort of says to the guy, "You hate it, don't you? It looks terrible." And he's like looking at her going, and the thing is, like, the nose job's made no difference whatsoever. She looks exactly the same. And if anything, I think her nose is bigger after the bandage comes off.
Yeah, you never hear about that problem. Like, go to the plastic surgeon. Like, I want to have the biggest nose in the world. I want to have a nose that's like Toucan Sam.
Are you sure it was nose that you asked for there?
Right. I see where you're going with that.
Your secret's revealed. There you go. There's them in Mid-Naturist getting a smooch with Olivia Colman.
Ooh.
But I actually do quite like that movie. I've got it in my collection. It's not bad. It's not bad. So Stupenzo.
Yes.
Your turn.
All right. So I know
What
I've
have you
been
been
watching. No, listen, I've been watching the We Watch stuff, right? Me and Chris watched Man's Best Friend, and I did watch Deep Rising yesterday, which is going to come out later. But I want to talk about the movie that's coming out tomorrow on my channel, our commentary section. It's a gnome named Norm.
His first official good sounding video.
Yeah. I find our first no tunnel audio video, by the way. And I also updated all our graphics. But yeah, I just want to talk about this movie because it was very weird. It's originally, you might know it as Upworld, Lance, because it's called Upworld in other countries. It's about. It
sounds familiar. Let me look.
Yeah, so it's Michael Anthony Hall. He's a detective for some reason, but he's like a goofy detective who plays with toys and reads comic books, and he's a goofball around the office.
Oh, I got see this.
It's a whole question about how the hell did he even get this job? He's like homicide detective.
It's not called A Gnome Named Norm, is it?
No, that's the movie. Yeah. Gnome and Norm start with G's. It's actually a gnome named Gnorm. It turns out that everything that starts with an N should be like Gno. Know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird. So basically what happens is Anthony Michael Hall is like doing like a drug bust or something, and he gets foiled, and a criminal blows up somebody with a briefcase bomb, and this gnome witnesses it, and Anthony Michael Hall basically kidnaps this thing and puts it in a cage in order to like find out like what it knows. And it's all screwed up because the thing wears clothes and has thumbs, and it's like it speaks, and he's treating it like a raccoon.
I've seen this. I rented this from the video store. I remember.
What's the most shocking thing about this movie is it's directed by Stan Winston. I had no idea going in. It's the director of Pumpkinhead, Blue Collar.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you might know him as the guy who made the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, obviously, but I know him.
Enzo can take the dumbest freaking movie and make you want to see it with the hype. The way
You
he
will
words
watch.
it.
Okay,
The
this
hype
thing is
alone.
obsessed. This Norm is obsessed with popos, which are like bosoms and butts. Like he's a pervert. He's like he's goggling over all women, and dogs want to eat him. Every dog that sees him goes after him and wants to kill him. It's insane. Like they want to kill him on sight. Also, we didn't realize this. We
God,
thought he
dude.
was
that is freaky. That is freaky.
That's
Fucking hell.
his biggest weakness is glass. Like he doesn't see windows and doors, so he always like walks into them. It's a common thing. And then another thing that's interesting is now we didn't know this going in. We thought because what he does, he can basically start yawning. Yeah. Yeah.
Good tips there. Thank you for that.
So you
I'm
get
surprised.
Gandalf never had a staff on them on set.
Ian McKellen looks like he's got a wizard staff, if you know what I mean.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. The weirdest thing about this creature or this movie is, like I was saying, yeah, I don't know. He wears like hobo clothes. I would think that he's like a deformed, like crackhead child. Like everyone just assumes he's an elf or something. And I'm like, I don't know. Oh yeah, he does. He does. Yeah,
Claudia Christian getting a bit of smooch action.
He lays one on her, man.
That's
But yeah,
I
don't know. Recommend you watch
sex addiction phase if you read that.
Yeah, watch our riff of it tomorrow. I can't remember what I was going to bring up about it also, but Robert Zadar is in it. Our favorite gigantic faced cherub actor.
So is Jerry Orbach, who played the father in Dirty Dancing, and of course Law and Order.
Yes, this is a very weird movie. No Mo Cop. It has so many different titles, which is so.
No Mo Cop.
Weird. I don't understand.
Did they change it to that after the success of RoboCop and try to? Is that like trying to ride the wave of a gnome?
The Adventures of a Gnome Named Norm. I'm glad they shortened it to a Gnome Named Norm.
That one. It's what's up with that print? It's like it's like a 3D.
It's blurry. Photo. His world needed a hero.
No More Cop.
No More Cop.
Yeah.
Also,
it does. I mean, it does take place in L.A. Like all movies do.
Is it a kid that played the?
It is a child that is running around because he doesn't have like the hip dysplasia that a dwarf actor would have. Yeah. It's definitely a child, running around in a weird little suit, and sometimes it's like a puppet.
Let's find out who.
He's a sword little guy.
Yeah, they're like little he's like a little lemming. He's like one of those little digging lemmings, like a tunneler. It was and the thing is, the movie's not for kids. There's like violent murder and all kinds of stuff in it. It's like, who's this movie for?
There are. Listen to this. There are.
So tune into that in about 9 hours from now.
There's 9 different people that played Norm in the film.
Yeah. Rob Paulson, who does Yakko and a bunch of other characters' voices, he does the voice. But I think we mentioned that. God, I did Porky Pig right there.
Yeah.
We mentioned that in the credits. We're like, we noticed like under Norm, there's like 14 credits or something. You're like, what in the world? Yeah. Is that the most I've ever seen play one character?
Well, this is one of the people who played him. And he also did special effects on Guardians of the Galaxy. So
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one thing about working for, Stan Winston directs a movie. He usually it's like he works with the special effects artists, but he doesn't actually do the special effects.
Yeah.
But it's got to be like, a sweat factory or whatever, where your nerves go crazy, where you have to show Stan Winston your concept, your makeup, because he's Stan Winston, it's like, I hope he likes it. But if he doesn't like it, he knows exactly what to tell you. He knows exactly how to make it better, so that's something pretty cool about working with a guy, I bet. One of the greats.
Okay, well, that's a film that I'm definitely probably not going to watch again.
No, like I said, watch it on my channel. Watch my video tomorrow.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't watch any of my videos.
Dude, I've seen some of your videos.
All right.
I often have you guys on when you're live streaming if I'm still awake.
I got 80 followers and only 20 people are watching my Wii Watches lately. So some of you guys are flaking.
Does that mean you're 20 away from 100?
No, I'm talking about on Twitter right now. But I got 314 subs now, which is great. So
You
slowly
mentioned Deep Rising.
Yeah, we did watch that with Dark Hour and Uninspired Reviewer, and God, I love Dark Hour, those guys, but man, he gets really analytical. We spent like 5 minutes arguing about how one of these actors' glasses were broke, and it's just like, guys, there's like monsters everywhere. Can we focus here?
You spent 5 minutes on glasses. That's kind of nuts.
I know. But Dark Hour is fun, and Steven Summers made that one. I know you're planning on doing a Chew the Fat or a watch party on it soon.
We're doing a watch party on Deep Rising.
When is that?
Pretty soon. Well, that will depend on my guest, because Jason Fleming has insisted he comes on to that.
Yay! We were talking about this. We talked about Jason Fleming, how you knew him, and how he almost came on the 3000 stream. I didn't realize that.
He was trying to get into the 3000 stream, and it was full, and he couldn't get on. So yeah,
eat it, Fleming. No, I'm just kidding. That sucks.
Is it bloody lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels, and I can't get on your bloody stream?
Well, hey, honestly, celebrities probably like feeling like excluded from things. Like, oh, yeah, I mean, they're used to having like the velvet rope open for them and stuff. It's probably a good reality check. Every once in a while to. Sorry, man, we're partying without you. I don't know, but I wish we had met him. That would have been neat.
It's a pretty good cast on Deep Rising.
Oh, yeah. Excellent cast. It's like the Expendables if they could act.
Yeah, you got Demon Honsu, you got Jason, of course, Wes Studi, who I absolutely love. Isn't Famke Janssen had just done a Bond film before she did this, I think.
Yeah, she was in there.
She's looking so beautiful in that one too.
And
the creatures look awesome too, man.
Do they still look good? Because I haven't watched it in quite a while, and I'm going to read. But they look well?
Yes. Short answer, yes. Long answer, yeah. There's some computery looking stuff, some parts, but there's some computery looking stuff that looks amazing. It still looks pretty great. So, yeah, for 1996, it's amazing.
I remember
ILM
as well.
Was it? Go ahead.
No, there's one.
Benny from. Sorry.
Listen, let me just mention this, and you can go. I remember the one scene where they go into that room, and it's like where they've stored all the food, because it's all just full of skeletons and bits of meat hanging off people. That was practical. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
Rob Bottin helped do the practical effects. It's always good when you get Rob Bottin out of retirement, out of what does he do? Real estate, California real estate. It's like these Hollywood people keep roping me back in to make like disgusting, gore. I'm trying to move on with my life.
Yeah, we need more of that.
Go ahead, Northern. You sounded incredibly like Stepenzo then, but go ahead, Northern.
Yeah, I think Benny's from the Mummy's on it as well, isn't he?
Steven Summers, who made the Mummy, made Deep Rising before the Mummy.
That's right. No. Yeah, same director.
Totally is. Yeah, it has a very Steven Summers vibe.
Yeah, he's not a bad
I love it.
Bad director.
No, he's good. He does some great popcorn flicks. Some of the best.
It's interesting.
I need to watch it again.
This is interesting that at one of the screening events for Deep Rising, Jason Momoa was there, although he looks like Steven Seagal in this picture. But yeah, Jason Momoa was there. That's nuts, man. I don't know why he was there.
That guy's everywhere.
He just shows up.
We'll be talking about that. I don't know when that's going to be. It's going to be probably a random weekday for about 90 minutes, and there'll probably be 2 spots for co-hosts. So start sending your super chats now.
Dude, I'm gonna be on that one. What are you talking about? We could figure out when that is, and I could release my We Watch recording in congruence with that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it depends. So under the you've done shitloads of art for me agreement, I think there's a good chance you've been on that.
Well, just because it's one of the few times where you're asking me to come on a movie, and it's like, not only have I seen it, I know it. I've seen it a bunch. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these movies, you're like, and I like that, where you're like, hey, watch this weird movie you've never heard of, Northern Limit Line and stuff, and I'm like, all right. So appreciate that.
That
too.
was good.
Well, because Jason's the guest and we want him to do all the talking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little mix
I could shut up.
of 20 words, and you're only allowed to speak using those words. Yes,
I was
and
not
no.
on your 3000 stream.
He was.
Man, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. He'll be.
I thought it was funny. Dennis McGuire and the Gooch on the same stream together.
And here's why I need to be on it, because when you were telling me about co-host, I wasn't even thinking. I had already forgotten you said Jason Fleming was on it. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking about, I want to talk about Deep Rising.
He didn't say he was coming on it until after I announced it, because
I do feel sad that he didn't get on the 3000 stream. Man,
I sent him. I sent him the screenshot. See that? And then just straight away underneath it, he wrote, "I'm coming on that."
Hell yeah, great.
Yeah. So,
huge fan of Mr. Fleming. We were very sad in the We Watch recording when he gets eaten.
Yes, quite spectacularly, as if I recall.
We're like, no, Led's his friend. No.
What else have you seen this week?
Yeah, like I said, Bear. Me and Mother have been watching the Bear and eating a lot of hot beef sandwiches, and yeah, other than that, I've just been listening to this Comicsgate drama, these big live streams.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah. I teed off on that yesterday.
I'm just listening to these trash cast streams from EVS, man, because he's just eviscerating Eric July and Yellow Flash, and it's like, it's kind of hard not to agree with him.
Hang on. Backtrack a second. Eric July, I know, is the guy who crowdfunded his own comic very successfully.
Yeah, the one I which I did buy it.
Yeah, I've seen him being interviewed. I've got a lot of time for him. I actually did say he's welcome to come on here and plug his comic anytime. He doesn't need me, but he's welcome. So I know he's had people come after him and shit. I've sort of loosely been following it. So that's my knowledge of it. Explain what the stream's about.
Oh, well, Ethan Van Sciver's another big time comic book guy. He did Green Lantern Rebirth, and he's basically like considered Caesar, or the godfather of Comicsgate, if you will, by a lot of people, just because he's real successful at it. But yeah, him and Eric July kind of had a falling out because I don't know, though. It all stems from like people criticizing Eric July's comic book and him reacting pretty badly to it. Basically, when Ethan Van Sciver kind of said, "Hey, you should probably listen to these people, even if they're your detractors and they don't like you and they're trying to hurt your feelings when they tell you this stuff about your comic, it doesn't mean that their criticisms are not valid, because a lot of their criticisms about the comic book is valid." And the thing is, I had no idea what was going on with the book itself, but then there's this big public kind of falling out with them. And basically, because Ethan Van Sciver was kind of siding with, Nick Rekieta and some other people about the criticism stuff. And I don't know, it kind of went full nuclear because like Yellow Flash kind of denounced Ethan publicly because he's trying to latch on to the Ripperverse kind of movement of the
a lot of people are leaking chat rooms and stuff like that. They're leaking comments being made, and it's just
it's a lot of backstabbery.
It's childish. It's just
seems like a coordinated effort to smear Ethan Van Sciver. But what's kind of upsetting is like he did the full breakdown of the book because he got like $1,000 in super chats, and he always said that if he did that, he would do one of his famous brutally honest comic book reviews of ISOM. And he doesn't really break down every page for copyright reasons, but dude, like he's barely Chris saw it. What did you think?
I got it right here. Also the comic, but like I do give him credit. Like as I won't show it, but he's opening up the book here from an artist standpoint, and he's taking a pen, and he's just, I would insert this, change that. When I first read ISOM, I'm not an artist, so I don't have the experience he has. But like you said, Enzo, the way he was criticizing the book, I mean, after reading it again and then watching his video, I'm like, you know what? He makes a lot of good points.
Yeah.
And then
basically the big points are a lot of the art, most of the art probably is traced from clip assets in Brazil. Brazilian artists kind of tending to do this to July. And then the other big problem, is the dialogue.
Let me see that. Let me enlarge that.
So that's what you get. And these are like 3D renderings and stuff. And then like basically what Ethan was doing is saying these characters are not hand drawn. It's like they're 3D models. So
Right.
But another big thing he mentions is like nobody's making eye contact with the reader ever. The artist refuses to draw people's eyes.
Yeah, like right here. So things like that.
Right.
You know,
but also
like,
the main thing with the story is the story's very vague, and that's something that he keeps bringing up. But anyway, the point is, like, I don't know. There's a lot of back and forth going on right now with the comics gate stuff. It's a lot of drama.
Like that's Isom. He doesn't have any eyes and looks down. So
yeah, that's kind of
the backgrounds are also pretty bad.
Kind of odd.
Can before I take off here, I got to talk about the news that I have, and Lance knows the news that I have. Because
yeah. And you said I can pop on, man. For a
yes, you absolutely can. Derek Robertson's going to come on next Tuesday. Derek Robertson, the artist for I mean, you can name it: The Punisher, Spider-Man, Wolverine, The Boys, Happy, co-creator of Boys. He's going to be coming on Tuesday, and I'm really looking forward to that because I've mentioned him a lot of times on my channel and on Matt Barr's channel. Because there's artists that have similarities to his style, but not quite his style, and he's got an awesome style.
This style here in The Boys, I absolutely love it. I mean, also I find his
that's Metropolitan.
There's two things.
I love Metropolitan.
I've not read Metropolitan. Should I check that out?
Yes.
What's the dude's name?
Spider.
That would be oh my god, I can't.
What's the character with the glasses name?
But the thing I really like about his style is I find the panels and particularly the characters very emotionally engaging.
Yes.
I mean, so you could look at the eyes here. So I mean, if Eric isn't drawing eyes on characters, he needs to do that. For sure.
Well, he's definitely not tracing stuff either, man. That's the thing. And this guy's name's Spider Jerusalem. It just came to me. Thank you. Oh my god.
Right. But I really love this style in The Boys. This style of his, I always, the thing that made me pick The Boys comic up was I just flicked through it and I was like, oh, I love this artwork. This is great. Didn't know anything about it. Bought it, and then I was like, oh wait, this is about what superheroes would really be like, because they'd be a bit bad, and it's about commercial and advertising and sponsors.
It peels back the curtain, right? It peels back the curtain what they're really like. Yeah, Garth Ennis, him and Garth. Hopefully I can get Garth Ennis after this and talk to him as well.
Yeah,
right.
But I mean, he's got You're right there, Lance. He knows how to pull out the emotion from each scene. Like it's really well done. Like in the first opening pages with what's his name, the main character, not the butcher, but why am I drawing a blank today?
What's the
Huey
with The Boys, where he's walking with his girlfriend in the fair, and the speedster, A-Train, runs through and kills his girlfriend.
Oh my god! That scene.
The way he drew that is amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
And they kind of, I mean, I quite like The Boys TV series, but there's just so many moments in the comic where I was just waiting to see them on screen, and they changed them. And I also, one of the things I really like about it is the way that their team takes down all these people one at a time. And starting off with the lower ranks of the superheroes, there's one group called Teenage Kicks and all the rest of it. But in the TV show, they don't do that. Why? No. Because they've got some pretty well-known actors in some of the key roles, and they don't want to kick them off on the first season or the second season. I'm like, I
mean, I haven't read the Boys comic, but I've heard like friends of mine who have, and I've heard that they say like Homelander and Billy in comparison, like the TV show is very watered down to the stuff they do. The one thing I don't like as the seasons are progressing is that when the comic came out, it's just a simple, silly comic, and it's not tackling political themes, and you're seeing the showrunners every season, like even Anthony Starr. I make Homelander because I'm trying to represent Trump. I'm like, what does Homelander have to do with Trump, dude? Like, you guys can you ever stop? It's
Well, there's a lot there, like internal politics, like one like Butcher he's having an affair with the what's her name there? It's Secretary of State there.
That's right. Yeah,
he's getting inside information everywhere. They're actually doing ops. They're spy ops on a lot of the heroes. Like you're seeing a way better developed story in the graphic novels than you do in the show.
Yeah.
You have the comic book. They call him the comic book master or something. I can't remember, where he actually like knows every superhero. Like he kind of gives them their names, knows their backgrounds and everything. He's hidden in New York in a dark room. He's got thick glasses on. He's an old guy. Mother is like this big behemoth that has like pumps out milk, and it's just
there's so much in the comic that's not in the TV show. I get why some of it was left out. This style I really like as well. Where you get these 3 frames in a row and you're building the emotion of what's happening with the person, which the first time I ever saw that done really well was probably in Watchmen.
Yeah.
It was just so different, and a good artist knows to do that. This looks interesting.
Brian Boland was like that too for The Killing Joke.
Right, yeah. I've got The Killing Joke.
Yeah,
it must be in the shed somewhere. Is that worth money now? First edition.
Joe Kubert drew a kind of a similar way too when he did a lot of Sergeant Rock and a lot of those characters like war comics.
Yeah, do you know what? It would actually be great to do a special stream about the boys and talk about the changes between the TV show and the.
Oh yeah, I'd love
this. This is actually when he kills A-Train.
Yeah,
in the comic, this is the frame. And A-Train's a buff white guy in the comic, if I remember rightly. Don't think he's black.
Yeah, just like I know Stormfront goes. We'll watch different YouTube reels and shorts, but Stormfront was changed from being a male to a female love interest with Homelander, things like that.
Right. Yeah, but I think I mentioned it on someone else's stream the other night. The biggest disappointment for me was the way they did Herogasm.
I've heard things.
Yes.
Let me see if I can get some images of Herogasm from the boys comic, not the.
They had to pump they had to pump the ladies full of a certain serum so they could withstand.
Well, basically,
heroes the
heroes' sexual dynamics. Basically, they were chopping up the blue powder, Compound V, chopping up like cocaine, and they were snorting it. Before they turned up, and then basically what they do is they invent a fictional alien satellite that's approaching Earth. So they do this. Homelander does this public announcement that all superheroes and villains are going to put their differences aside, and they all fly off in full public view of the cameras. We're all going to go and fight the satellite from Xelon 9. What they're actually doing is they're all going to an island in the middle of the Pacific that's got a luxury hotel where they're going to have Herogasm, which is their equivalent of the Oscars, and all of these ladies of the night get taken out there on vessels, especially for this event. Not just ladies, but men as well, and they're all there to please the superheroes. But they just watered it down to a swingers party in a house, and I was like, "What's this?" And I mean, I know budgets are limitations, but you can do anything with CGI these days. They could have got it a lot more accurate than that. It was just I just thought that was the thing. I couldn't wait to see how they were going to do it. And it was just proper pants. I was so disappointed. This is actually the frame where in the comic where they say, "Yeah, we're leaving Earth and we're gonna fight this alien, whatever." This image here, and if I can get it a bit bigger. Here we go. and then where they end up, you know, this is where Hirogasm is, with this super luxury hotel that with an airport that they've hired out especially, and these are all the goings on at the
Whoa,
at the
Smart to
park.
show
Wow.
censored. Yeah.
it's like the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and then there's lots
yeah.
of comments like one girl's going, "Oh my God, you're using your stretch powers," and this sort of thing. You know, it's
It's like those
pretty
Olympics
nuts.
after parties.
Yeah.
All the world's greatest athletes are all together in some exotic location, and yeah, they definitely all have big, crazy sex parties out there.
Yeah.
Even the part with the Russian, what's his name? The meat, the guy with the long, Wang.
Oh,
love sausage.
The sausage.
Yeah, love sausage. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's part of the crew, but he's in Russia. He helps them out in Russia. They're on they're out there, but in the series they just kind of throw hints at him, and I'm just like, oh, like you're really like that's what I hate sometimes. It's like when you're writing a script, you're taken away from the graphic novel and you're doing something completely different, and it just kind of ruins it. And
on top of the comedy too.
Nice comment from Leroy there. My kind of vacation. Just so you know, that's a typical night in Enzo's house. Saturday.
Hey, so when did you say this your interview is? Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday, yeah.
So a week from today.
So is that going to be in terms of time? Will that be after this show next Tuesday?
It would be like probably like an hour from 6:30. It's going to be 6:30 my time. So you'll be more likely be up because you were on Cannolis last night. So you'll be able to watch it next week there, Lance. It'll be on after the show, actually.
But it's live though, right?
Yeah, it'll be live. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll jump on and ask my questions at the end. But I'm really curious to hear his thoughts on the TV show, especially. Yeah.
I know the him and Enith have they're part of the show, but I'm not sure how much they're actually involved in it.
Right.
Yeah. Just curious, Jay, how long do you roughly think you're gonna do it for? Like an hour, 2 hours? Did you have a time frame?
It all depends. Like I got Bone Bridger in 45 minutes. I'll be interviewing him. So it depends. Like I had Brett Booth on for an hour and a half. I'll have
who's Bone Bridger?
Bone Bridger.
He was on Open Bar with me last Thursday.
Yeah. YouTuber.
I'm sorry. I'm going to ask the question again. Who's Bone Bridger?
He's a YouTuber. He's on. He was on Criticals last week.
Right.
He's got a big channel. I've been on his channel. He does a lot of reviews and parodies and stuff like that. Great guy.
Well, tell him he's welcome to come here anytime.
I will pass the message for sure. He'd probably appreciate that.
All right, man. I know you've got to duck out because you've got to get.
Yeah, I got my show, but always a blast coming on here. Everyone, please take care, and afterwards, come swing by and watch.
What show's coming on right now for you?
Diabolical Souls presents my show.
Yeah, with who?
Bone Bridger.
Oh right.
Yeah.
we were just talking about it.
I'm dumb. I'm dummy. Don't worry.
So that's
mother.
That's going to be half midnight my time. So I'll make sure we come down before.
That'd be nice. All right, you guys. Peace.
All right,
take care.
man.
Everyone in the
See
chat. Take care,
man. Take care.
Yeah.
Okay. Love the cooch.
Yeah, no,
I'm glad we're taking a break between now and Arcane because I still need to watch it. But also, this Thursday will be the first time I go to karaoke in like 2 months. I've been doing Diabolical Souls' Blue Eye Samurai streams on Thursdays. So
is that a regular karaoke night where you live?
I was going to karaoke before I started YouTubing super hard, like 2-3 times a week every week for like 3 years.
Wow.
I've sung over 1,000 songs now.
Damn. Hence the microphone. You're just so used to holding a microphone, it just feels natural to do that while you're YouTubing.
Yeah. Also, I think I have like some kind of form of like early onset Parkinson's or restless leg syndrome or something. I can't stop moving.
So I'm gonna let you guys in on Lorenzo, Stupenzo.
Vincenzo.
You got so many names.
Just call me Enzo.
I'm just gonna call
Vincenzo. My name starts with a V.
Lorenzo.
My name's not Lorenzo.
Can I call you
Strike Lorenzo
Pepperoni?
from your memory.
Pepperoni would be funny.
Pepperoni's fine.
Pepperoni's good.
Enzo Pepperoni.
So so I'm gonna let you guys in on the films I'm gonna be doing, either Chew the Facts or watch parties on. Now, look, they're both essentially the same. The difference is, because we're going to talk about them, the difference is with the watch party is that basically we'll have the film on in the background, so you can at different points, oh, this bit, you know. So there's going to be lots of people interrupting people, but yeah. So whereas Chew the Fat, we don't have the film on in the background, but we talk about it in quite some detail. So pretty similar shows. A lot of episodes of Chew the Fat, I often had two films. So we're going to do. So you might want to make a note to watch some of these, okay? Because I want you to have seen them.
Obviously,
if you haven't seen these two films, you absolutely should. And these are The Dish and The Castle. They're both Australian, both from the early 90s, although The Castle might have been 89.
Now, I remember The Castle, but I don't remember much of it, but I think I've seen it, or I definitely have seen trailers and know what it's about.
There are some jokes in it that, like, you know, if you were an Australian, you would get it. And I found it funny regardless, but there's one bit, because it's all done. There's the younger brother sort of does a voiceover and talks his way through his family and explains all the different weird characters are in his family, and they're just this kind of laid back family that just love their life, which is a very average life for most people. But they go, one point he goes, "Oh yeah, there's nothing more than we like doing, sitting down as a family and watching Hey Hey It's Saturday on Saturday, apart from watching repeats of Hey Hey It's Saturday." And I didn't get that joke, even though it sounded really funny. And this friend of mine said to me after he'd lived in Australia for 10 years, and he said, "Mate, if you've watched Hey Hey It's Saturday, you'd know how bad that show is. So no one wants to watch Hey Hey It's Saturday, let alone repeats of Hey Hey It's Saturday." Anyway, these two movies you should definitely check out. Anyone in chat who hasn't seen them, I highly recommend them. I personally think both of these films are better than Crocodile Dundee. That's my view.
That's an Australian movie. This is an Australian movie.
Most Chew the Fats will be either on Saturday night. I'll try and time it so I'm not clashing with dark hours. So usually starting around 10.
Yeah.
I may do the occasional one on a Monday around the same time. So when I'm wrapping up, then we'll be going into Cannoli's.
Yeah.
Stream. Anyway, that's one we're going to do.
Oh, last night, listening to you on that Two Towers video was excellent.
Oh yeah, I didn't feel like I contributed that much. Well, apart from the bit I said at the end where I was talking about, what an amazing experience it was watching that film on the opening night with people that were all seeing it for the first time. Yeah. And one of the things I forgot to mention was the tension that was in the cinema when that final shot came up and you suddenly heard that, oh no, and you knew it was going into the ending, and you could see the Eye of Sauron in the distance, the dragons, the Nazgul flying around. You heard there was a massive collective groan went up in the audience. Oh no, we've got to wait another year.
Once I told you, Canola, with the super chat, and I was dead serious. I just didn't grow up with Lord of the Rings, so I'm like, oh man, Gandalf died. We're not going to see him again. I'm watching the open, and I'm like, wait, hold up. And then I didn't know Gandalf was going to come at the end and save these guys. I thought Theoden and Aragorn were going to die because I never, Lord of the Rings wasn't part of my childhood. So I'm watching it like, holy crap. It was such an experience.
Language there.
Trying to calm down my profanity.
That's if you can get it to lower levels of me and Luke. Stupenzo Pepperoni Sex God, then you're doing all right. So
I think I did pretty well tonight.
No,
Yeah,
you've been cursing nonstop.
Was
I've been
I?
watching.
Oh, damn
It's
it.
okay. I think it's funny. I mean, I think it's
We're
funny.
rubbing off
But,
on him.
Okay, so next, also on Chew the Fat, we've got there's tons to talk about. So with this one, so I didn't want to pair it up with anything. American History X.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that was a great film.
This is a film that I saw in the cinema, and I saw that film Pleasantville. Do you remember Pleasantville?
yes.
Where it's that world of black and white starts turning into color and all of that.
Such a great job. I mean, cinematography.
It's a good movie, and there was these girls that were talking all the way through the film, so I had to go out and complain twice. So then I went and got the manager, and I said, right, I want some compensation. They ruined my experience. And he said, you can have 2 free cinema tickets. And I looked at my friend, looked at the time. So I said, great, 2 for American History X now, please.
That would never happen in America.
And so we went straight into watching American History X after seeing Pleasantville. Quite a change of tone. So that's one we're going to do. Leroy, if you haven't seen this film and you're still in the chat and you want to be on this one, because I know it's your kind of era, you like the Westerns, going to do one on Ride with the Devil, the only Ang Lee Western to date, from what I can. Well, Walter Hill says every film's a Western, so technically then it's Ang Lee's 15th Western. But this is a really interesting movie.
Yeah.
The thing that's interesting about this movie is it's set on the fringe of the American Civil War, so it's not where all the big battles are being fought, and really what's going on is everybody's using the war to enhance their own personal gain. So it's a very, very good film, and I'm looking forward to watching it again because I haven't watched it for quite a while. So Leroy, definitely rewatch it. Yeah, kind of an unusual cast for a Western, I have to say. That's true. So if anyone else wants to be on that one, do watch it. These are not in any particular order, by the way. Last Starfighter is the one we're doing first. That's this Saturday.
Oh, I can't wait.
Now, if you like foreign television dramas, and I appreciate that's probably not my core guest group today, but this series is absolutely brilliant, which is funny enough because it's called My Brilliant Friend. It's based on a series of books by an Italian writer, and it's sort of based on her life. And it's about 2 girls who grow up on the outskirts of the place where pizzas come from.
Italy? Domino's.
No, the town.
Sicily?
Oh,
no.
Naples.
Naples. Thank you. They grow up on the outskirts of Naples.
Because of much we know.
In one of the new housing
I know where
estates
pizza comes from.
that's been built since the war. What's really amazing about this show is the set that they've built for the housing estate, because this show is set over a period of about 30 years, and the first season covers about 10 years, and the set changes as people buy new businesses, as people, a couple of shops get added to the estate. The clothing, they've got different actors playing the cast as they get older. Occasionally one of the girls goes on holiday to this island. It's a series of 3 books. They've done 3 seasons, and the 4th season is going to be the last. But one for the ladies in particular, but I really loved it because I love period films, and like they shoot one scene in Rome, and they've completely got all of the cars of the 60s there. Everybody's in the right clothes. They shut down the whole street. Obviously, it's in a major iconic place. So some absolutely fantastic production design in the show. There's no snakes eating people though, so it might not be for you guys.
Yeah.
This in my mind is Christopher Walken's best acting role ever. Can you guys guess which film I'm talking about?
Is it Communion, the alien one?
No.
I was going to say that.
Is it The Prophecy?
No,
it's a war movie.
No.
Oh, never mind.
At Close Range.
Yeah. This is a film that a lot of people haven't seen. again, which is one of the reasons why I've picked it. It's an absolutely fantastic film, extremely powerful. So this is going to be an episode of Chew the Fat. We're going to talk about it in depth. I think the whole film is on YouTube, or it certainly was. It's the true story of a criminal family from the American Midwest. And when the father gets out of prison, one of his two sons, they're half brothers, hasn't really met him before, kind of looks up to him and wants to kind of, him and his group of friends, they want to engage in criminal enterprise. You've got Crispin Glover in there. Kiefer Sutherland actually has a really small, it's one of his very first acting roles. But it's an outstanding film. There's an amazing scene between Penn and Walken right at the end of the movie. And it's quite slow, but I think it's good. I think it was criminal that it was overlooked to the degree that it was when it came out. So that's another one to put on your list to watch.
Okay.
Northern Limit Line we've done already. This one, because, you know, we've got to have some cheese. Got to have some cheese in with all the intellectual stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So this is more the watch parties now. We're going to be doing Cannon's Invaders from Mars. This is, if you haven't seen this, if you haven't seen this film,
you did mean the 80s version, right?
Yeah, no, you got the right
Okay,
poster.
okay. All right.
Yeah, it's actually of the Cannon movies, this is one of the best films that they produce. It's directed by Tobe Hooper, I think, or he had something to do with it.
Yeah, no, he made it. And then also I saw the original too, that this movie, it's like a movie that kind of like, it's a remake, but it's also a parody, but also like a way, it's like simultaneously like way better than the original, but also kind of makes fun of the original at the same time.
It pays a lot of homage to it. Now we're going to do a special stream on Uncommon Valor. Now, the good news is that Dennis McGuire, who was briefly on my anniversary stream, he was the unit director for some of the stuff that they shot in the States. And I think some of the stuff they shot in Hawaii. Tim Thomerson is in the film. He plays Charts, who's one of the team. I'm hoping to have both Dennis and Tim on this stream, as well as a couple of guests. So we will have somebody who was in the movie, somebody who worked behind the scenes on the movie.
Awesome.
This is my favorite of the kind of, we've got to go back to Vietnam films. This came out before Rambo 2, of course. It's just a great film. I love the score, really like the cast. So weird that the first cast member to pass away was the youngest, who was Patrick Swayze. We just lost Fred Ward, of course. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Then we're going to do a watch party. If you haven't seen this, the whole film is on YouTube, but there are a couple of different res versions. Try and find the high res version. Now, if you watch this movie and you've never seen it before,
yeah, this is a good one.
When you get to the London party disco sequence, bearing in mind it is the 70s, you'll be thinking, Jesus Christ, what is this movie? But once you get to Africa, the film takes a completely different momentum, and it never stops. Now, this is the film that I was hoping The Expendables was going to be, because you care about all of these characters, and when they start dying in the movie, you really feel it. It's a little bit, some bits of it are a bit dated, but the action scenes are absolutely fantastic. It's probably one of the best British action films ever made. And what a cast: Richard Burton, Richard Harris, Roger Moore, Hardy Kruger. So highly recommend that one if you haven't seen it. And then we've also got, named after a David Bowie song coming up. Who has seen this one before? Got the soundtrack to it next to me.
Love it.
Wow, I haven't seen Starman in a long time.
I love it. I got it on VHS somewhere.
Great, fantastic movie.
Did you know that they blew up? I think it was something like 15 acres of forest for the spaceship crash sequence in that movie.
Yeah, I did not know that.
They don't make them like they used to, I tell you.
Nah.
Karen Allen, really, really amazing performance in this film, and again, I was quite surprised that neither of them got nominated for an Oscar. But then it's a sci-fi movie, right?
Yeah, that's a problem.
I love the theme to this movie. They just keep hammering it throughout the whole movie. It's so good when he makes the little deer come to life and stuff with his little magic balls.
That's when the guy who's killed the deer is like looking at Karen Allen, going, "Hey, I can set you up with a real nice slice of venison later."
He's like spitting out tobacco chew, like
yeah. He's like such a he couldn't be. Could you be any more redneck? You know.
Yeah, they're wearing the Michael J. Fox vest, the hunting vest. You know.
Yeah.
The flannels.
So that's a film I've got on Blu-ray behind me. I just bought it. I haven't watched it in forever. I owned it on VHS, but I didn't own it on DVD. So I thought it would be a good film to revisit. We're going to do another one by the director.
Can I read the tagline to Starman real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
He's traveled from a galaxy far beyond our own. He is 100,000 years ahead of us. He has powers we cannot comprehend, and he is about to face the one force in the universe he has yet to conquer.
Love.
Oh my God.
That's actually quite a good setup.
Don LaFontaine, baby.
So this is another film directed by Andrew V. McLaglen, who American director, directed The Wild Geese. Uses a lot of the same cast as The Wild Geese, as the Seawolves. Based on a true British undercover operation where there were 3 German ships that were sort of impounded in peace, during the war in Goa Harbour in India. And the British learned that one of the ships had a radio on it, and that there was an agent in India who was giving them sea coordinates for British convoys that were going around that part of the world, and the U-boats were going out and sinking them all. So basically the Calcutta Light Horse, which was a group of retired old men who were basically playing a lot of water, polo and drinking tea in India and so on, they were given the mission to go and board these ships and destroy them. This is a true story. It all really happened. And they're kind of, if they got caught, they had covered themselves all in alcohol before they went on the mission. So their cover story was, they were British, they got drunk, and they just decided to go and shoot up some German ships. And all the weapons they take with are German, so they can say they found the weapons in the ships. It's quite well done. It's a bit slow and a bit dated, but I'm very interested to discuss it with people that haven't seen it before. Again, the whole film, I think, is on YouTube.
I like the fact that Gregory Peck and David Niven are both in it. Probably the first film they did since Guns of Navarone.
It is, I think, the only other time they worked together, actually.
They were real good in that one. I really like the clash of ideals in that film.
Yeah. I've watched Navarone pretty recently, actually, and it still holds up really well. I think this one's going to happen pretty soon. This might be might be the Saturday after The Last Starfighter, and that is boom.
Long Good Friday.
I did do a recent stream where I did an episode of Chew the Fat, where we did the Long Good Friday versus Rise of the Foot Soldier, which is a more modern kind of true story gangster thing. The Long Good Friday won hands down in terms of which film Matt preferred, who was doing it with me, and he'd never seen either film.
Yeah, it's a classic. So, it really is. It's if you've not seen The Long Good Friday, really watch it. Bob Hoskins, brilliant. Helen Mirren, bloody gorgeous, and you get a really young Pierce Brosnan in there as well.
Jamal was saying it's never done Das Boot. I own it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I own 3 different versions of it, and I saw it at the cinema as well, because it got a cinema release over here.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've already mentioned Deep Rising. This is one of my favorite films of all time, and it'll be interesting to see whether Lance actually cries in the stream. It's entirely possible. We are talking about, of course, Cocoon.
Oh my God.
Leroy, I've done that. I've done a Chew the Fat episode on The Bounty with Matthew Holmes co-presenting with me. It's on the channel. Yeah, Cocoon. That's going to be great. That's a film I watch once a year, every year without fail. And it's funny.
I can't blame you.
I either put it on because I'm extremely happy, so I want to watch it because I love it so much, or I put it on because I'm extremely depressed, and I know that the bits that are really emotional will link into that, and I'll blub like a child. So it's kind of weird. It's like I either want to watch it when I'm feeling one extreme or the other, nowhere in between.
Yeah, nothing cheers you up better than Wilford Brimley's ass.
Diabetic ass.
Remember when he gets in the shower, like he's butt naked, and he's like, "Hey, little girl, want some candy?" It's like, ew.
I knew you'd mention that. I knew you would mention that.
Why wouldn't I mention that, Luke? Why wouldn't I mention that?
Look, he's the pepperoni sex.
Wilford Brimley jokes, and I'm not going to bring up that.
I mean, it's coming from the pepperoni sex god now. So.
I'm also
changing that name next week, by the way.
One before before I get to the final one. So this, of course, was directed by my friend, the late great Albert Poon. This was his first feature film, and yeah, I love it.
I've seen it. I've seen this movie. It's good.
It is good. It's cheesy, but it's great. It's got a great script. That's why it's good.
Yeah, and the bad guy has some pretty cool makeup effects on him.
Yeah, that's Richard Mole, who passed away last year, and Richard Lynch, who we lost a few years ago, who's on the left here with the plays Cromwell. He's just he's brilliant in it. He plays that role absolutely perfectly. So good. There's somebody I've interviewed who's actually in the film, so I'm going to try and get him on again. To be on it with us, so that'd be fun. And then, of course, coming up this Saturday. Sorry, guys, spluttering.
Richard Lynch and Werewolf, that movie from 1995.
Damn, that's a while ago. So this Saturday, The Last Starfighter.
This Saturday, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is it Last Starfighter I'm doing this Saturday. I think it is.
I don't know.
Sure schedule.
Let me check. Let me check. I'm saying that now, but I didn't
turn into dark hour there.
It's either this one or Sword of the Sorcerer. I can't remember which one you're doing.
No, it is. It's
okay.
Last Starfighter this Saturday.
That was a fun film.
That's going to be 10 o'clock UK time. Let me know, guys, if you want to be on that.
Last Starfighter, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely up for that. I'm definitely going to be up for that.
So, Desert Phoenix has mentioned batteries not included. Now, I need to watch that again because I was working at the cinema when that came out.
Man.
Saw it a lot of times, and I was profoundly disappointed in it. I thought it should have been a lot more fun than it was. Bender, Richard Lynch, yeah, he was the go-to evil guy in the 80s and the early 1990s. He's absolutely fantastic. Such a shame that he died from a fall at home. And wasn't found for a couple of days, so he probably could have survived if someone had known. Saw it in the cinema in 1982. Yeah, I know a few people that seen it on the big screen. I'd love to see it on the big screen, actually. Yeah, so that's it for today. So, Stupenzo, what you got coming up?
Well, like I said, a gnome named Norm tomorrow. And then I'll be on Blue Collar's channel later. He'll talk about that. And then also tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be on Scene Invaders channel for the very first time. They hit me up, asked me to come on their second or third live stream ever.
Wow.
So that's cool.
That is
cool. I think the rest of the week I'm kind of wide open. Going to be doing karaoke and editing and working and cooking and cleaning and kind of hanging out in this cold weather.
Well, we have to get drunk and watch that stupid was it Casper Van Dien
Most
movie?
Deadliest Game. We should watch that soon.
I'm not watching that sober.
There was something else I wanted to watch soon. Blind Fury, Spellcaster.
Dude, I love Blind Fury.
Blind Fury's
Millennium.
Blind Fury's Rutger Hauer.
Rutger Hauer. Yeah. I want to watch.
Yeah, I need to catch that.
Good movie.
Wouldn't mind doing
Shakma,
it.
Bangkok Dangerous, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, Prehysteria, Dracula 3000, Frogtown. I want to watch a bunch of crap, guys.
Oh, Hell Comes to Frogtown is classic.
Lance, we mentioned that last night to Wes. I said, Wes, this movie's made for you. He's like, I never seen it. I'm like, you never seen Hell Comes to Frogtown?
I love the opening credit where you have that scene that happens. I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't seen it. And then literally it's like, Gribbet at the end of that sequence. It had a really small budget, but they did quite a lot with it. Yeah,
it's I think it's like it's one of those like underrated gems. No one ever seen or talks about it, but a very select few of us.
Actually, Stupenzo, we need to do a Chew the Fat mega stream on we can call it Warriors of the Wasteland, and do like all those kind of B-movie post-apocalyptic things. There were so many of them.
24. There's like 25 of them. There's so many that I know of.
I can think. I mean, there's like Eliminators.
A lot of them are Italian.
Yeah, all those Italian ones are great.
Just like when Jaws came out and all the Italian movies started doing like aquatic sea monster movies. Well, after Mad Max, a lot of dystopian. Because those movies were cheap too. Because like unlike ocean movies with sea monsters, you need boats and helicopters and stuff. Yeah. But with a lot of indie films and first time movies, they're either time travel or dystopian future. They take place in the past or in the dystopian future.
Remember this one?
Yes.
The New Barbarians. Oh, this was with Fred Williamson. This was classic. And then,
but the cool is you can just get to film out in the desert or the woods, in natural lighting.
Remember these?
Oh, Escape from the Bronx, bro! Wow. The Bronx Warriors. You got both of them.
God.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got the steel book.
You are hereby ordered to evacuate the Bronx.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What's that? With the skull?
It was a trilogy.
That's the steel book.
Oh, you get the whole trilogy. Oh shit. Yeah.
See?
The Bronx Warriors trilogy.
Crazy.
I mean, it's not really the Bronx Warriors trilogy, but
they're like loosely connected. I didn't even realize there were sequels. I mean,
well, they're all produced by the same guy that made Inglourious Bastards. It's that same group of producers and directors, and I saw them all on video when they came out. So, Blue Collar, what you got coming up?
So I made it for an hour and a half. We're gonna watch the second half of Grindhouse, which is Death Proof. So because to even out our Quentin Tarantino. The funny part is, you can buy it as two separate films, but I bought it on Vudu. So Grindhouse, it's literally Planet Terror right into the trailers, right into Death Proof. So I figured I'll show the faux trailers.
You had to get Grindhouse.
What was that?
So you're watching the Grindhouse version of the Death Proof?
Yeah, because it's when you buy it on
that
Vudu,
might be the version. I can pull up Grindhouse and we could do the same thing. That'll work.
Okay.
I think Death Proof was my favorite of the movies in that.
Stuntman Mike.
Yeah, that's the Kurt Russell one.
Yeah, exactly.
Traps the girl.
I had had a flip flop where I think a lot of people watched it originally and liked Planet Terror better. But then we watch them separately or again later. I think the big problem is they should have started with Death Proof,
Yeah.
Because Planet Terror is so stupid and high octane. So then when you get to Planet Death Proof, it's like kind of feels like it's dragging.
I thought Death Proof was fast. I remember Death Proof coming out fast. Yeah.
No, for us it wasn't.
The Grindhouse. We watched the Grindhouse movie in theater, so it's like the double feature.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it all came out as one film over here.
Well, yeah, same for us too.
But I'm hang on, let me
fake trailers. My favorite was the Simon Pegg.
But Northern might be right. Do you know what I recall on the
YouTube release? Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, I'm just going to see if there's anything about that on.
Yeah, because even when you buy it on Vudu, it comes out with Planet Terror and Planet Terror thing, Death Proof.
So keep talking about what you got going on. I'm just looking.
No, I'm just in pretty much Stupenzo, just hanging out with him doing stuff. Let's see. I did see Mean Girls. I'm working on a review with Mean Girls, which I didn't hate it, which surprised me. I expected to go in hating Mean Girls, but it's the problem with remakes. It's like if you make it so much like the original, why remake it? But then if you change it so much from the original, people get pissed off. Like, why make it? And it's the point of why make it. it's such a carbon copy of Mean Girls that just go watch Mean Girls.
Right. Okay. I was just reading through the Grindhouse stuff here, and of course I forgot that's when they first did the trailer for Machete.
Yeah,
you have all those fake trailers.
Exactly.
And then of course Machete got made into an actual.
And
I think Hobo with a shotgun had something. Was that in there?
There's Thanksgiving too. Thanksgiving was the other one that got made into a movie. I want to see, Rob Zombie's Werewolf Women of the SS, and then I also want to see Eric Wright and Simon Pegg doing their version of "Don't." That was my favorite of the fake trailers. Don't. You want to open the door? Don't. Go in that room. Don't.
Yeah.
Just getting killed left and right.
Yeah, so here we go. So in the United Kingdom, Death Proof was released on September 21st, 2007. The release of Planet Terror followed on November 9th. So that's weird.
Wow.
The UK, they must have.
You didn't have any screenings of Grindhouse because Grindhouse
they must have released it. Oh, hang on, here we go. And then there was a limited run of the entire Grindhouse feature the following year.
Wow.
But in Grindhouse, Planet Terror is definitely first.
So I wonder, Luke, if we saw Death Proof on its own when it first came out. That's why we're thinking it was first.
Yeah, which is so weird because that was the whole marketing. The marketing was like, hey, remember, Quentin and Robert Rodriguez, remember the whole Grindhouse days? Because I never grew up with Grindhouse films. I heard of them, but I never saw them. So that was like this first time I actually went to go see as an adult a Grindhouse double feature, and that was the big promotion of it.
They packed out the lower shelves of the video stores of the 1980s. It was like once the video boom happened, any shit that you could re-release on video got put out there, got a new cover, got put out,
Yeah.
So Bastard, are you still there? We've lost your.
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm still here.
You got anything coming up?
Well, apart from Losers Lounge, I'm going to try and see if I can get my Society of the Snow review out and then do a live stream with Tony Down Under on the Mask of Zorro.
Friday.
Great stuff.
Yep, this Friday.
I actually want to do a video because I'm going to create a video. What that means is I'm going to record some audio and I'm going to nudge Mr. Pepperoni to help me with it. But I want to do a video on the beginnings of miniseries in America and how they all came to be, and that's all because of Shogun. So I want to talk about Shogun, Winds of War, North and South, all of those early miniseries that basically got everything else greenlit. Not a review of them per se, but just talking about how one led to the success of the other and the commissioning of the next, and so on and so on and so on. I'm hoping to do a video about that. Okay, tomorrow I have yet another industry interview.
Really?
Yeah, 51 or 52 with my friend Tim Bentic. Here he is on Ted Lasso. He's a British character actor who's been in the business for 50 years. I'm going to pop up his IMDb actually into the chat so people can see it. I first saw him in a TV show called By the Sword Divided, which was a BBC drama series that ran for a couple of years about the English Civil War. Actually was pretty good, but in Tim's autobiography, he looks back at it. He remembered having a great time on it and thought it was great. It was his first job out of drama school, and in his autobiography, he looks back on it. He says, "My God, I was chewing the scenery. There was lots of cries of 'my liege' with really like big hand gestures and all of this stuff." And he said he was acting his pants off, and other actors knew the more experienced actors knew when to rein it in. But that's Tim Bentic on the channel tomorrow, and you can see he's worked in the industry for nearly 50 years. He's been in The Crown, loads of feature films, loads of TV. He does a lot of voiceovers for things like Warhammer 40,000, various games, but he's also done feature films, been in one of my favorites, North Sea Hijack with Roger Moore. He's been in a lot of stuff. So do check him out. And he still makes short films with young filmmakers as well, which is kind of how me and him got in touch. He did a film with a friend of mine, and I thought, I know that guy, and I'd get him attached to one of my scripts, and that's kind of how we met. And I sent him a script, and he loved it. So he's going to be on tomorrow. He's also played Rommel in his lifetime, by the way. So he did like there was a BBC drama, and he was in that.
Yeah.
He was also in the Jimmy Savile drama recently, I think as his lawyer. No, as one of the heads of the BBC. That was right. Anyway, that's tomorrow at 8 o'clock UK time, so that'll be 3 p.m. 3 p.m. East Coast. Bender's saying he looks like a real sportscaster. Well, that's the idea. All right, fantastic. So another episode of the Nielsen ratings where we segued into quite a few different things.
Lots to do. Yeah.
How we like it. Great. Look, thank you for coming on. Sorry I've been a bit wheezy. Still got this thing. It's just hanging around, man.
It's that time of year, man.
Well, it's a new, this particular strain is a new virus, and it's been wiping everybody out, and nurses just keep getting it because you don't not get it once and then you're immune to it. I don't know what it is, but
I'll tell you next week, Lance. I mean, we're leaving now, but Monarch did end, and I did watch the finale. So, but I'll tell you about it next time.
Monarch Legacy of Monsters.
Yeah. Maybe I'll check out the whole thing this week for next week.
I said, we'll get into next week because
we can discuss it next week.
I am happy that it was made. So.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll get around to watching it.
Glowing praise, I'm happy
it was. I'm happy it was.
It had a plot.
Exactly.
Here's a fun picture of.
It didn't upset me. That's like the most you could say nowadays.
You know what? I'm happy with it.
Let me show you this photo quickly before we go.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, that's Tim with Guess Who.
The Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not quite sure what the connection is here and why Tim is dressed up as Tom Baker in this photo, but we're going to find out tomorrow.
Are they in a men's room? No, they're in some kind of office corridor.
Yeah, I think so, or maybe at a comic. They might be at a Comic-Con, something like that. But
pictures in the bathroom. That's something no men ever do. You know what I mean? Women do it all the time. I don't know.
Tom Baker's getting on a bit. So, all right. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming on. It's good to have my regular posse here.
Thank you very much.
I'll see some of you on Saturday. Hopefully.
Last Starfighter. Oh yeah.
Nielsen, what do you want on your dang like outro video for this? Like, I'm picturing like some Western music. It's like guys riding off in the sunset, maybe.
What would be really good is to have something like that would be great, and just have a compilation of all of the movie posters that you've already done for me, but just the film posters. You don't have to have the graphics on them.
No, I'm talking about like an outro for your Nielsen ratings video.
I'm talking about an outro.
All right, I'll slap on some pictures of random posters and just call it. All right, cool.
Just like a compilation of loads of posters flying past with a thank you to all my subscribers, and then if you could put all the names of my regular guests on there as well, that'd be great. You know them all, I think so. And definitely thank the Critical Drinker as well.
Yeah, that's why I like his new open bar intro, because the guy who created it, you can tell it's open bar with Drinker and Muller, but they show pepper in all the different people. It's been on his, that's why like the open bar, the new opening is really well done and drawn.
Yeah, who did that for him?
I forgot the guy. He gave him a shout out. He's got his own YouTube channel, but he did give him a shout out. I forgot who it was.
I'm gonna get you a good outro video for free $99. Okay, so don't expect too much.
Cool. Yeah, well, I mean, if you can do something entertaining with
you got it, man.
Our images in there, that's all good. All right. Well, look, thanks to everybody in the chat. Keith, always a pleasure to see you, mate. Thanks to people for tuning in. It's quite nice. We were in double figures at one point. We were up to 14.
Jamma. I found I got Jamma's YouTube name now, so I could tag him in future song request videos.
We'll talk about that next week.
Jamma wants to do some. He wants me to sing some Creep. I want to sing some Creep now for Jamma.
I'm disappointed. I thought Jamalama was a girl. Right. Okay. On that bombshell.
Jamma's a dude, I think.
You think?
Somebody else on another stream said they were a lady.
Fiona's here.
We'll find out next week after.
That show is shit.
Just miss Fiona. So look, Jamalama's saying excellent show, boys. Only a girl would say that. On that bombshell, we are out of here. Thank you to my guests. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Don't forget to tell the people that you care about, that you love them, and we'll see you all again real soon.
Jamma's a dude. Confirmed.